So lifting will start in 8 minutes, or less than 8 minutes, 7.5 minutes from now. Coaches, you've got 4 minutes to make change for openers. Now lifters for this morning's session, our medal presentation will take place at the door of the entrance with the USAPL banner in it. We're going to get that started in a couple of minutes, so make yourselves available. Lifters in session 2, you should be walked up, because lifting will start at 12:30. Our second session is featuring women in the 56 kilo category, as well as men in the 75.
Nothing I opened out.
Ah, is it pretty tight actually? Like it, oh, there's like, wow, this is like actually really strong.
Yeah, it's going to be a good session.
Yeah. Like Maria and Lena, there's only 2.5 kilos between them. That's crazy. Yeah, okay, that's actually fucking tight. Ooh, okay.
Is that the timer when the live stream starts? Yeah, I can do that. You ready to go, Billy? I'll do the introductions.
So, let me just take off my jacket.
You know what's funny? I was thinking about this the other night. I'm like, I've never pronounced this name.
My surname?
Yeah,
How do
it's
you
Aspirin. So it's like Aspray.
A lot of people say Aspirin.
Yeah,
That was my name. I just say how it's written, man. How do I turn that around? Ooh, alright, good stuff.
All right, welcome to the USAPL Australia Open and Masters and Nationals for 2024. We have our wonderful commentators for session 2. I just want to say firstly, session 1, didn't hear what was going on, but I'm pretty sure it was a fantastic job by the two lovely gentlemen who were commentating. For this session, we have I'd say on my right, but no one can see anyway. But on my right, we've got TSF founder, owner, meat director extraordinaire, Billy Asprey. How's it
Hello.
going?
Well, thanks, Francis. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
To my left, we have commentator extraordinaire, Francis Nguyen.
Referee as well. But
Oh, and referee,
we'll
and
put
you
that
know, pretty
away.
good lifter
Yeah.
and all-round good guy.
Nah, just we'll stick for the first two.
Thanks for being here with me, Fran.
I'm so excited. It's been a really good day of lifting so far. Like the first session, you know, some big numbers being thrown around, and even this session itself, we have 23 lifters for today's second session. We might as well start with our first flight, the women's 56 kilos. Tell me, Billy, any lifters that stand out for you?
I'm really excited about this, actually. There's a really high standard of lifting coming up in this session, and some really close battles. We've got Maria Shannon, a leader, coming out from Everstrong. She's the front runner for the session. But she's really closely followed by Lena Tran by only 2.5 kilos on their nominated totals. So super close battles coming up that I'm actually really excited to see play out. And even behind those top two, there's a couple that are really close. So
yeah, Annika's one that stands out for me. Her last comp was at APL in June, and she's sitting, in terms of the numbers, she's actually got the highest dots between herself, Lena, and Maria. So she could be a very hot candidate to take out the title.
in
today.
what weight class did she compete at in her last competition?
I believe it might be similar
Yeah, okay.
weight class, yeah. So, yeah, big threat there.
Yeah, that's a really stacked session. These 56 kilo women coming out are super strong with some really big numbers. So that's going to be an exciting group to follow.
Yeah.
How about group 2?
Group 2, Flight B, we've got 13 lifters, mainly in the men's 75 kilo weight class, a couple of master lifters as well. The one for me that probably stands out the most is Daniel Sear. He last competed last year, and I believe he's been coming back from injuries. His last comp, he had 448, close to 450 dots. He's one of the top lifters, I would say, in USAPL, especially in the 75 kilo weight class. So, it'll be interesting to see, given that it's his first comp coming back from injury, see how he performs.
How well do you know Francesco's lifting from Stoic Systems?
I've heard his name come around.
Yeah.
I believe he's from Sydney. Having a look at his dots, 470.62 in his last comp. I believe that was Paragon, 27th of July. Probably favourite.
Yeah, probably a favourite.
470 plus dots, yeah, favourite.
Yeah, I've never seen him lift before, so I'm excited to see that play out. So importantly, this is the Open and Masters Nationals. So you'll see the bulk of the lifters that we have in these sessions are competing in the Opens category, which is the open age category. They'll be competing against each other. However, there are a few lifters competing in a separate division of the Masters. You'll see that denoted on the score sheet, which you can follow along on Lifting Cast.
Yeah. And we also have one lifter who's in the Masters 2 category from the 90 kilogram weight class. One of your lovely clients, Richard Weimar.
Yeah, we've got Rich Weimar lifting representing TSF today in the 90 kilo Masters category. All right, we're ready to get things underway. First lifter off the rank, we've got Joanne. Joanne's competing in the Masters 2 category in the 56 kilo women's class. She'll be opening her squats on 52.5 kilos. Joanne's been lifting for a really long time. She's super veteran of the sport.
Yeah, I think when I was looking at the open powerlifting, was doing a bit of research, I think her name came up and it was just probably one of the longest pages you could
It's
find.
something I really aspire to, actually, just having a wicked open powerlifting page.
Yeah.
Wow, this girl's been around for ages.
Just waiting on the referee's decision here. One thing that you're going to actually notice quite a bit come up in terms of the squats is just the locked knees. It does pop up quite a bit, and as a referee, I have stated this previously, but especially with the stiffer knee sleeves. So you're looking at like the Inzer knee sleeves, the A7 rigor mortis. For referees, it's probably a bit harder to see those locked knees. So you might see outside referees today just delay in terms of giving that locked knees starting position, especially with the stiffened knee sleeve. So whilst it might benefit some lifters in terms of being able to squat heavier, it comes at that detriment of potentially not having your knees locked at the start and at the end as well.
I didn't realise that actually. It's a good call. We've got Rachel Rodriguez here coming out for 87.5 kilos on her opening attempt. 3 white lights. It's a good lift. So what Francis was referring to then is at the start and the end of the squat. So when the lifter is standing tall in the starting position, they need to have their knees locked in that position. They won't receive a starting command from the chief referee until that position has been achieved. And similarly, a squat will not be considered successful if they don't achieve a locked knee position at the end of the squat. All right, next up we've got Catherine coming out for 95 kilos, lifting for Melbourne Uni. Looks pretty good to me. See what the referees say.
I was going to say that was pretty close for depth.
From the side that we saw. So we've got 2 white lights there, 1 red light from the left referee.
For depth, yep. We've got Winnie up next, 95 kilos as well, representing ESS. I've seen some of Winnie's training, given that I train at ESS now. Sorry, Billy. And her bench is incredible, like 67.5 opening bench as a 56 kilo lifter is
Yeah, that's
insane.
massive. So far above body weight. Wow. That's how you want an opener to look.
Very speedy there. Yeah.
3 white lights. It's a good lift. So for those of you watching on that maybe aren't so familiar with powerlifting rules, you'll see there's 3 lights that show up on your screen at the end of each attempt. They represent each of the referees that are refereeing each lift. 3 referees, 3 lights. For a lift to be deemed successful, the lifter only needs to achieve at least 2 of 3 white lights. White denoting good lift, red denoting not a good lift. All right, Melanie Spencer here, 100 kilos on her opening attempt, competing in the open 56 category.
You also see if there is a red light, there are colours underneath the lights as well. That just denotes in terms of what the lifter has failed in terms of the lift. So, for example, a red light with a red colour underneath represents depth. Blue can be downward movement, for example, or locked knees. Yellow can be, for example, if the lifter has failed or just missed the squat command or missed the rack command. So, yeah, colours do denote also in terms of what that lift or the performance of the lift being failed. We've got Angela Dong up next, 107.5 kilos, representing Sim Strength. Josh Sim had quite a few lifters in that first session as well, so very busy today in terms of having his lifters compete here.
It's a nice squat.
Perfect opener.
3 white lights, good lift. Francis, you referred to failing a squat on depth. Can you please explain what we're looking for when a lift is failed on depth, or what is considered successful depth for a successful lift?
Yep, so what the referees are looking at is the hip crease. Top hip crease needs to be below the top of the neck joint. I know it changes depending on the federation, but for USAPL, that's what we're looking for.
Beautiful. All right, we've got Annalise Carter here, 115 kilos for her opening attempt. Wow.
Wow. That was very easy.
What's her nominated total? She's got to be up there.
Yeah. 3 white lights.
Very lights. That's a great lift.
Can I also just say this, the spotting and loading crew, is this not the A team?
This is the
I know
A
we
team.
have A teams, everyone is an A team, but this is like, I don't know, A plus team?
Yeah, this is going to be a fast session. All right, we've got Maria coming out now for 117.5 kilos, lifting for Everstrong.
Not Stoffin, Colin Webb, it's the who's who. Good squat there from Maria. Definitely in contention for that podium position.
Beautiful, 3 white lights, good lift.
Easy opening attempt there. Next up, Annika with 122.5 kilos as her opening attempt.
So jog my memory, Annika's the one that's come over from...
Queensland.
Okay.
APL,
Yeah.
as her last comp. And it's just interesting to see in terms of her weight. Like, she's weighed in pretty light as well. In a 56 kilo weight class, she's weighed in at 53.68. Maybe she's going for dots, given her total as well. That could come into play.
Okay.
And there you go.
What do you think that was?
Knees
Alright.
weren't locked. So that was for both side referees there.
All right.
She's got
The stiff
SPD.
SPD.
SPD knee sleeves,
Yeah.
yeah.
There we go. So we referred to this before, that the lifter does need to achieve a starting position with both of her knees locked. The side referees will be looking for that to give the signal to the chief referee that the lifter has assumed the correct starting position. If they haven't assumed the correct starting position in how much time?
5 seconds.
5 seconds. They will be asked to replace the bar so the referee can communicate what was incorrect about that starting position. So what you just saw then was Annika being asked to please replace the bar. Chief referee saying, hey, your knees aren't locked, you need to get into the correct starting position. And then she's able to unrack the bar again to find that correct starting position. Unracking the bar twice can be extremely exhausting. It's also stressful. You're on a time crunch, you've only got 1 minute to achieve your correct starting position. So she did well to recover from that. That was Lena Tran's opening attempt, opening at 125 kilos, the heaviest opener of this 56 kilo group. Just waiting on the referee's decision. That looked lovely to me. What do you think?
Yeah, that looked very easy, Billy.
3 white lights. Great
yeah.
lift.
And representing Strength Culture, who I would say it's kind of a home ground advantage down the road
Yeah.
from where we are today, RSCA Park over in Moorabbin.
Yeah, I'd call that a home ground advantage. So sea of green there, everyone successful on their opening attempts. That is what we want to see. We're back to the top of this group now for second attempts. We've got Joanne now with a 5 kilo jump up from her opening attempt. She's jumped up to 57.5 kilos.
It's very interesting to see some of the jumps in terms of squats, especially from first to second. I mean, you might see a range between, I would say, 5 to maybe 12.5 in this session. It's a good lift, 3 white lights. But yeah, really just dependent. Sometimes this happens in terms of lifters going up 2.5 kilos from their second to third attempt for squats. Would you think that is a good decision, Billy?
I think it's context dependent. If you're a 56 kilo woman and you're jumping from 57.5 to 60, yeah, maybe it will be okay. If you're a 120 kilo man jumping 2.5 kilos from 265 kilos to 267.5, I'd say it's probably a pretty dumb decision.
Yeah.
even though like the weights lifted are relative to the individual's strength and their own body weight, absolute loads are more fatiguing on the body.
Yep.
So I think it's definitely context dependent. At these body weights, I wouldn't consider it crazy. But that said, there's a big difference between jumping from 57.5 to 60 for a third attempt than jumping from 127.5 to 130.
Yeah.
So I think it really depends on the weights being lifted. But it wouldn't be uncommon for... It's not common, but it's also not uncommon if a lifter has totally grinded their second attempt squat to pass on their third and gone. It's not even worth coming out for that.
Yeah.
For the effort and the fatigue that would accumulate, it's not worth it for 2.5 kilos. Go out and get some rest.
It was a good lift for Rachel. 3 white lights, hitting 95 kilos. We've got Catherine up next. 7.5 jump, attempting 102.5 kilos. Looked pretty easy there. 3 white lights, good lift. Winnie up next, also attempting the same weights at 102.5 kilos. You'll also see some lifters in terms of footwear, for example. Some lifters like Winnie choosing, I guess, heeled shoes. Other lifters going for flats. What's your opinion on that, Billy?
Choosing to squat in heels versus flat, again, is a very personal decision. A heeled shoe might put you in a more upright position. It might help you if you have like maybe inadequate ankle flexibility to achieve depth in the squat. Maybe you can achieve depth in the squat, but it's just more comfortable to get into it with a heeled shoe. Importantly, the heeled shoes, they are a really firm heel. They're not like a foamy heel like you might have in a running shoe. They're a really firm heel. We don't want to be losing any force that we're trying to exert against the floor. We want to be exerting it against a firm surface. So if they are heeled, they are firm. Alternatively, those lifters that are coming out in flat shoes, they tend to have a really thin sole. Like Melanie, we can see on her footwear right now. It's a real flat sole, so she can exert pressure right against the floor. So what would that provide? Maybe more stability. You can feel your balance points a little bit more in contact with the ground. And as a trade-off, you are going to be probably in a more hinged over position, and you are going to need to have adequate ankle mobility in order to achieve that depth, adequate depth in the bottom of the squat. All right, Melanie here with 105 kilos. She's jumped 5 kilos from her opening to her second attempt. Like I said, she's like reasonably hinged over when she squats. Again, she hasn't got that aid of the heeled shoe to keep her in a more upright position. Just waiting on the referee's call.
Whilst we wait for the referee's call, I'm pretty sure it's a good lift. I'm just going to say it's a good lift without knowing anything. But, I just want to...
Just off vibes. It was a good lift.
Yeah, just off vibes. It's a good lift. See, knew that.
All right.
Angela up next.
Angela Dong, 115. Sim strength.
I was just going to quickly
We're
say,
finishing each other's.
I know, sentences.
So beautiful, Francis. We're so harmonious.
Really vibing. Just like old times. I was just going to quickly say, huge thank you to all the volunteers that have made this weekend possible. Our meet directors, our volunteers, everyone. There's so many people in name, so many people that have made this day possible, and this weekend really possible. Let alone, the lifters coming out, the spectators. So big thank you to all volunteers this weekend. Thank you very much.
Once weekend. That was our first failed attempt of this session for Angela. Failed on strength, a little bit sticky. She jumped 7.5 kilos from her opening to her second attempt. It's like not an unreasonable jump. Her opener moved well. That didn't seem too aggressive, but she'll come out and reattempt that same weight on her third. She does have the option of increasing the load if they felt particularly confident. She has elected to come back out again for that same attempt at 115 kilos. It's not a... You can fail it on your second on strength, and you can come out and absolutely smoke it on your third. So she'll be out there talking to her coach now, But if there was maybe some technical breakdown, maybe more arousal required, whatever it might be, she'll be out there just troubleshooting that, and she'll come out again for that on her third attempt. Here we have Annalise Carter with 125 for her second attempt. 10 kilo jump.
Wow.
She should have jumped 20. Her opener was a smoke show, and I don't know that that was any slower at 10 kilos heavier. What do you reckon?
No, that was way
Looks
too
just
quick.
as fast.
That was a warm-up weight.
Be interested to see what she puts in for her third attempt, because dare I say that moved better than they thought.
135 at least.
At least. And 135 almost could have been a second. 135. It's like you've done this before.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's going to move really fast.
Yeah.
A 10 kilo jump from first to second, second to third at these loads is like, they're big jumps.
Yeah. It is a big jump, especially if you're looking at like percentage in terms of the weight.
Exactly.
Up next, we've got Annika attempting 127.5. Her first attempt did look a bit sticky, did look a bit slow. Maybe a bit of issues in terms of locked knees. And again, it looked like a good lift. However, probably a bit slower. Again, I don't know in terms of her performances previously. But yeah, just that was a bit difficult.
Yeah. Her opener was hard. She had unracked it twice. I thought it might have been sort of the result of a bit of pressure, a bit of time pressure, just the fatigue of unracking twice. But that was like challenging again.
Yeah. Well, it was only 2.5 from her best ever squat, so
Okay. I wouldn't be upset about that.
no.
It's also 127.5 kilos at 53 kilos body weight. I'm not upset about that.
No, very impressive.
All right, Maria here with 127.5. This is a 10 kilo jump from her opener to a second. Pretty aggressive.
This is also this would be her equal best comp squat as
All right.
well. So
See how this looks. Oh, that was nice.
just from this angle, I think
Depth a
maybe
little high?
borderline in terms of depth.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Three wides. You cynic.
I've got a bad angle.
All right, our final lifter of the group is Lena Tran. She's coming out for 130 kilos. Reasonably conservative 5 kilo jump from 125 to 130. 125 moved well.
Yeah, a bit of a smaller jump, especially, I guess, like a heavier weight. Maybe
Yeah,
their
I
plan
agree.
is 135 squat,
Yeah.
which will be 2.5 above her best ever squat.
That was great.
I reckon 135 easy.
Yeah, maybe just a heavier opener. But
Yeah. But
Yeah.
You know what they say about, especially a national event?
What do they say, Fran?
Make the lifts.
Make
That's how
the
you
lifts.
win. That's how you win. You know who ends up winning? Person who does 9 for 9 as opposed to the person who just sends it every single third attempt.
God, it's
Make
too
the
true.
lifts.
All right, we're back at the top now. Squat round 3. Joanne coming out first for 60 kilos. Very conservative here, 52.5, 57.5, up to 60. So like we said before, 2.5 kilo jump from second to third attempts at these kind of loads, super reasonable.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. It will be similar to, if Joanne's opening at 55 kilos for a bench, 2.5 as well. Very, very reasonable.
Very reasonable. It's a lovely squat.
Depth should be no issues there. Bit of a pause, halfway up.
Pauses are allowed. Beautiful, 3 white lights.
Very white lights.
So the bar is able to stop, like able to pause on the ascent. There's no problem there if the lifter slows down so much that the bar is still. It's no dramas. If it keeps going again, it keeps going. What the lifter cannot do is have the bar descend once it started ascending. So once the bar starts coming up, they can't, say, like lose tension, collapse a little bit, lose their balance, have the bar come down and come back up again. The bar must rise in one motion. A downward movement is what we call it, and that would be a no lift from the referees.
Yeah, and you'll see if it pops up with a red light, you'll see the blue colour underneath to notify that it is downward movement.
All right, Rachel Rodriguez, squat 3 of 100 kilos, up 5 kilos from her second attempt.
2.5 kilos over her best ever squat at comp. It's going to be close.
Yes. Depth looked borderline. See what the referees say. She's so suspenseful. 2 red lights, no lift. So you see those red cards there denoting squat was not deep enough as judged by the front and the right-hand side referee. It's not uncommon to see this. A lifter might be fully capable of squatting to depth, but at these heavier loads, a little bit of fear creeping in, just being a little bit more conservative. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, and I think, when a lifter is going a bit slower as well, almost like trying to find that depth point, that's usually when it makes it a lot more obvious for a referee to see whether or not the hip crease is above or below the knee joint, top of the knee joint. Whereas, you might see a lifter who squats very quickly, it's a lot harder. It actually is a lot harder to see.
Yeah, and the referees are to give benefit of the doubt. If they're not super sure, it's a good lift. So if you move super slowly and you give them plenty of time to spot your areas, you're going to get caught out. All right, we've got Melanie Spencer here for 107.5 kilos. Just a 2.5 kilo jump from her second to third.
Very
that looks
controlled.
nice.
That was very good.
That looked good from my non-referee angle.
Yeah.
See what the referee's saying. 3 white lights. Good lift. All right. Catherine coming out for 107.5 kilos, up 5.
This is quite a bit under her best ever squat. Her best ever squat was 120 just a few months ago in the last comp. So, yeah, I'm not sure if there's, I guess, previous injuries leading up to this comp.
Perhaps.
Squat looked pretty good from the non-referee angle. 3 white lights quickly flashed.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not entirely sure. It would suggest injury, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I always really admire lifters that come out, not at their peak, but going, you know what? I said I was going to do this thing. My prep didn't go to plan. But I'm going to go out there and put up the best performance I possibly can. I really respect that.
Yeah.
All right, Winnie Lay, 107.5 kilos, also up 5 from her second attempt. Her and Catherine have taken the exact same attempts.
And it'll be up 2.5 from her best ever comp squat as well. It's probably close there.
Yeah, I thought so too. 2 whites.
Benefit of the doubt.
Good lift.
Good lift.
All right, Angela Dung's coming out to re-attempt 115 kilos. So Angela actually failed this on her second attempt. It was a failure to strength. She just didn't have the strength to grind it out. So she'll be coming out now to give this probably about 10% more effort. I reckon it'll be enough.
Yeah. Very quick unrack there. Yeah, that looks so much better.
Oh, so much better. There it is. She looks stoked. There is a little part of you that's like, oh, why couldn't I just do that on my second? 3 whites. That was a great lift. All right, we've got sort of our coming into these like front runners of this session now. So there's these top 4 girls that are strong and they're putting up some big numbers. So we've got Onika coming out now for 132.5 kilos. This is a monster squat at 56 kilos body weight. It's well over 2 times body weight. Well over. Yeah. So Onika's squats have been pretty slow. That doesn't always tell us a lot though. Some lifters do just squat or just move weight slower. Some lifters can move a squat super fast. You add 2 kilos and they fail. Other lifters can absolutely grind a second attempt. They add 10 and they can grind that out too. So when we look at bar speed as some, as a bit of a metric, it's not always that useful. Okay, in the distance.
I didn't want to say anything. Commentator's curse there. Yeah, unfortunately, a no lift there for Monica. I mean, you know, given that she, I believe, is from Queensland, that could be a factor in terms of travel.
Yeah,
Just, I remember I was talking to Colin Webb this morning when he arrived here at 7 o'clock, and he was complaining that it was freezing. If you recall from TSF Team Champs, where it was 40 degrees, and he was loving the weather. He said it was cold then. You know, he's not in his element today, so that could be a factor in terms of lifters coming from Brisbane. A lot colder, might take a bit more time to warm up.
Are we being overly compassionate to the Queenslanders?
Yeah.
Come on, man. It's a nice day in Melbourne today.
Yeah. It's as good as it'll get, you know. Can't be sunny every single day.
Annalise Carter, 135 kilos. Her first attempt was an absolute smoke shot, 115. Second, just as fast at 125. Up 10 again, 135.
And get this, Billy. Her last comp in April, first ever squat, 117.5 kilos.
No. Oh, she's going to be a freak.
I look like
her coach's face is just disbelief. Like, I can't believe that moved like that.
It's a good lift. 17.5 kilos.
I feel like this is like not a, like when you have like a, let's consider her like maybe she's a relatively newer lifter, right? She's improved that much from one comp to the next. When was the last comp?
April.
If you improve that much from April through to what are we now, October, it's like she's probably a newer lifter, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like as a coach, you kind of go, okay, like, I think these like are reasonable numbers to put on the bar, and they just surpass your expectations. Like, as a newer lifter, you don't really need to have her training at absolute maximal intensities. No. She's probably squatted nowhere near 135 before. She's opened at 115, and they've gone, oh, that was pretty easy. I guess we'll take a pretty good jump. And you kind of go, God, like we probably could have opened her at 130. Like, but you just don't know when you're newer, and they're improving that quickly.
It's like trying to find that like breaking point or that limit.
Man.
It just still hasn't hit it yet.
She's technically a great lifter too. Like those squats were lovely.
Yeah,
she's got a good future. All right, Maria here, 135. A little harder. I reckon that might have been high.
Looks, I think maybe just on, but did slow down right at the bottom, so could give the referees, depending on their angle, which is obviously the most optimal angle. Ooh.
2 white lights, good lift.
Still good lift.
Oh, that was fortunate. Cool. All right, fine. Got 2 at 135. We've now got Lena Tran coming up for 135.5. This will be a record attempt. I wonder if the other two didn't even realize this was a record up for grabs.
Yeah.
I reckon they must have not. So all competition attempts are taken in 2.5 kilo increments unless a lifter is taking a national record attempt. So this is 135.5 kilos for a national record for Lena Tran. Stunning.
Wow.
That might be a new national record.
I reckon.
Yep, 2 white lights, good
go.
lift.
Good.
Hell yeah.
That is massive. And it just puts an extra pressure when, you know, if you're going in terms of total, if you put even just like, you know, that's realistically what, 50 grams above, the next person has to be still by over 250 grams.
0.5 kilos is 500 grams, Francis. Aren't you a math teacher?
Oh, yeah. I'm on leave. My brain is shut off.
Oh, God.
That's what I meant.
We call this the chip advantage. So Lena's just taken a squat increment of 500 grams over what the other lifters took. The other lifters aren't allowed to take a 500 gram increment unless they're taking a record attempt. So going into the bench press and deadlift sections, if a lifter wants to outlift Lena, they'll need to take a 2.5 kilo attempt where she only took this 500 gram jump.
That's what I meant. I think I just put 1 less 0.
I know what you meant, Francis. It was just wrong.
Thank you.
All right, we're on to the second group of this session 2. Who have we got lifting in this group? Mostly the 75 kilo men and 2 90 kilo masters men.
Yeah, sorry. I thought I just saw Rich, but yeah, Chris as well in the Masters 1 category for 9 kilo weight class. We've got Wayne up now, 157.5 kilos. Quite a familiar face around here. I believe it coached by his son.
I'm a big Wayne fan. So Wayne
a
is
huge fan.
competing in the Masters 3 category, which is the 60 to 69 age bracket. And his like long-term training partner is his son, which I just think,
It is so nice. Like,
I love powerlifting. I love sport.
yeah, beautiful, beautiful.
Well, and yeah, Wayne, a real veteran of the sport. He's been around for a long time. Super, yeah, great lifter, lovely guy. Anyway, that was 157.5 kilos, which is a huge opener in the 60 to 69 kilo weight class. If that ain't goals. All right, Mustafa coming out now for his opening attempt of 160 kilos. So again, like the women in the first group, there is the open age competition happening in this session. There are also some masters battles happening here. So you'll be able to see on the bottom of your screen, Mustafa is competing in the men's raw open. Some of the lifters, you'll see it denoted as Masters 1, Masters 2, Masters 3, denoting the Masters age category in which they are competing today.
Cool. Being called back there for soft suit not being on.
I love that you just waved at that.
Yeah, natural. I just get plugged into.
Okay, he's got a
any
bit of
referee
time
role.
sensitivity now. So, from the time that the bar is called bar loaded, the lifter has 1 minute to achieve their squat command, which is the starting command of their squat.
I don't think he's going to make it.
I don't know if he's going to make it. No, that's timed out.
It's timed out.
Please. Yeah. So you have 1 minute to achieve the squat command. So you'll need to unrack the bar, walk out into your starting position, have the referees contend that you're in the correct starting position for the squat, and then achieve the squat command. What we just saw happen then is Mustafa come out not dressed appropriately. So all lifters, you'll obviously notice, are competing in a what's called a powerlifting singlet, which is like a one-piece form-fitting suit that makes it really easy for the referees to see where all of their joints are and make sure that they can see everything they need to see in order to appropriately referee the competition. Mustafa's just come out with his straps down on his singlet. In the time that it took him to take off his belt, get on his singlet and make his way out, it was too late. So he didn't achieve the squat command, which meant he wasn't able to take his opening attempt squat. So it'll be a decision now for him to make with his coach, whether he comes out for 160 kilos on his second attempt, or perhaps he goes out the back now and quickly does a warm-up and then comes back out. It's a bit frantic. Missing your opener sucks, particularly on something like that. It's like he's warmed up, he's ready, and then he just made a really silly mistake, and it's just cost him an attempt.
Yeah, on technicality as well.
All right, this is Rich Weimar now representing the Strength Fortress, the 170 kilos on his opening attempt squat. Competing in the Masters 2 category, 50 to 59 years of age. And 3 white lights. It's a great lift for Rich. Yeah, so one minute to attempt to achieve a squat command. Really easy when nothing goes wrong. It's like 1 minute's a lot of time. You can get a squat command in 10 seconds if you're organized. But if you've been a bit frazzled and, or you've had to replace the bar and get ready again, or you're not dressed, or people are yelling at you saying, get off the platform, it's like, it can be really, that time pressure can feel really heavy. So 1 minute, usually plenty of time. Make a bad decision, it's not plenty of time. And you can see that now. Daniel's just walked out now. He's just about to achieve the squat command, and he's got 36 seconds left on his clock. Wow, that was 175 kilos as an opening attempt.
He's weighing very light, 67.7 kilos. So he realistically could have competed in the 67.5.
Interesting.
Which is, very interesting.
What's he competed in historically?
I believe 75 kilos.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. I wonder what that decision was. So lifters competing in the national competition that we're here for today, they need to have submitted what weight class they're competing in. It's 2 weeks out from competition date. So oftentimes at local competitions, you can compete in whatever weight class you arrive in, whatever you weigh in on the day. However, at this level of competition, you need to have achieved a qualifying total in the correct weight class and have that submitted at least 2 weeks out from competition. So, Daniel might have seen, hey, I'm 67.7 kilos. I can compete in the 67.5 kilo category. Like, I could make that. I can drop 200 grams. Sorry, mate, too late. You needed to put that in weeks ago. So, I don't know what that decision was. Anyway, that was Jason Pan with 180 kilos, 3 white lights, good lift on his opening attempt.
Got Jerome up next, also attempting 180 kilos. Best ever squat 175 kilos at comp. So,
wow.
Oh, that was last year though. So, put on clearly a lot more muscle, bit of strength as well.
Do we know where he comes from? Who's he coached by? We don't have that data.
No, I don't. And it doesn't look like he has a handler as well, so.
Damn, Jerome. Let's go. Cool.
Easy.
That looks nice. Yeah, it looks like he's on his own.
Feels a bit lonely.
Yeah, it does. 3 white lights. Good lift for Jerome. That's right. He's got the support of everyone in the room. All right. Sushant coming out for 185 kilos on his opening attempt, representing Trinbalone. What data have we got on Sushant?
Well, his best ever squat's 197.5, so we're 12.5 kilos under that. Very big bench, 142.5 kilos, so nearly double body weight. And best ever deadlifts 217.5, in which his opening is 220.
Oh, cool. All right.
So he looks like he will definitely smash that and go over 400 dots as well, because he's just under 399.96.
That looked high to me. My view was a bit obstructed, but that looked high.
I had no view, so I'm not going to say anything.
Oh, 3 white lights. I'm an idiot. Cool. Good lift. All right. Dylan Regan coming out now for 195 kilos, representing Synergy Strength. Where is Synergy Strength based out of?
They are based out of, I literally drove past this yesterday.
Oh.
It's down in the peninsula area.
Yep.
Somerville.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, because I was driving down that way and I saw the sign pop up Somerville. I'm like, it's Synergy.
There it is.
So I guess kind of local to
Yeah,
here.
it's local.
That was a very good opener from Dylan.
I feel like if you didn't have to cross the West Gate, you're local.
Yeah.
All right. Chris Trudgett coming out for 205 kilos.
Chris is in the Masters 1 category in the 90 kilogram weight class.
Cool. So the Masters 1 category is the 40 to 49 age bracket. So you'll see now, once we have lifters surpassing 200 kilos in their attempts, they will have 5 spotters on the platform. So less than 200, we'll get by with just 3 spotters. Above 200 kilos, we'll rope in 5 spotters just to make sure not only the lift is safe, but also the spotters are safe.
And he's squatting without knee sleeves. Over 200 kilos without knee sleeves in the Masters 1 category.
Damn.
My knees are hurting right now thinking about that.
Mine aren't, because I'm so strong and robust and well-rounded. I'm going to age beautifully. Let's go, Chris.
And to round off our opening squat attempts, Francesco Liberti, 240 kilos as a 75 kilo lifter. Best ever squat, 270.
Whoa. Oh, I like this guy. He's lovely. Let's go.
I reckon he's going to smoke this one.
That's a monster opener.
Yeah. His best ever squat's 270. Every number up on his opening attempts is way under his best ever, in which he competed in July, so.
Wait, say that again. After I watch this, hold on. Bro.
Yeah, way too easy.
He's a monster.
Yeah. He'll win. Well, sorry. Barring any difficulties or injuries, knock on wood, nothing happens.
Opens smart. Yeah, he's got this wrapped up if he makes no really bad decisions. What did you just say about his previous results?
Well, if we go back to his last comp in July, squats 270, bench 162.5, deadlifts 250, 682.5 kilo total, with a dots of 470.62. So these are insane numbers, and judging by his opening squat, wouldn't be surprised if he's around that ballpark.
That's huge. It's really uncommon to see people of this size with a squat bigger than their deadlift.
Yeah. Yeah, normally,
Typically, we'll see a deadlift bigger than a squat. The only time that we don't see that, this isn't exclusive, but the only time we'll really see a squat bigger than deadlift is probably in super heavy weightlifters, right?
Yeah.
To see someone like Francesco squatting 270 and his best deadlift is 250, what's that?
A lot.
Just uncommon, right?
Yeah, very uncommon.
All right, Mustafa coming out now for 160. So Mustafa actually didn't take his opening attempt squat after he timed out. So he's come out to take 160 now on his second attempt. It was a bit of a bummer on his opener. That was a great squat, I mean, from what I can tell, but it's just so disappointing. Like, you should have done that on your first. Stupid mistake.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that he's put down reattempt as 160. Given that he didn't even attempt the first attempt, I think, you know, personally, or like if I was the coach, I'm not the coach, but if I was the coach, I would have been like, hey, let's get under the bar, 160, quickly attempt
Yeah, just
that.
do it in the warm-up room.
Yes, you have 1 minute less in terms of recovery, but you've made the attempt and you can go heavier.
And that was like a really easy 160. Like, that wasn't hard for him, you know? It's like, yeah. Anyway, it's time. Like, you're under pressure. Like, you've got to make decisions really quickly. You've got to do one that keeps everyone calm. Like, I get it. It'll be interesting to see what they put in now for his third attempt. Do they just kind of Hail Mary it and like take like a really big jump to his third, like get him somewhere near what he planned on doing for his third attempt? Or do they take what he had planned for his second? Do they do something in between? I'm interested to see what they do. All right, Leandro now representing Hustler. Also home ground advantage here with 167.5.
Ooh.
Oh, a little sticky. A little bit of a shift.
Still moved upwards. Didn't look like there was any downward movement.
Yeah, a little up, a little sideways, but generally up.
Yeah.
Cool, 3 out lats, good lift.
Got Rich up next.
I thought we got Wayne.
Oh, sorry, Wayne. No, I've jumped ahead. Wayne up next, 175 kilos.
12.5 jump from his first to his second. Again, Wayne in the Masters 3 category, 60 to 69 kilos. Do you reckon you'll still be lifting when you're in your 60s?
I don't know. My body's already struggling and I'm only 31.
Oh, this is seriously impressive, right?
Yeah.
How old are you, friend? 31, 32?
31.
31.
Yeah.
Like, do you reckon in 30 years' time you can still squat 175 kilos?
Probably not, no.
Like, this is
But
insane.
I would love to. Yeah, it is amazing. And I had a quick chat with Wayne in the back as well because, you know, familiar face and all, and he was just saying, you know what, I don't put any pressure on myself now. I'm just out here to have some fun. And that's what powerlifting is about. Fun.
Absolutely.
And a bit of competition, but mainly fun. Good lift there from Wayne. Very easy squat there. And you know what? That's actually 10 kilos above his best ever squat.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Man, still making gains like that?
I'm surprised that's not a record, to be honest. Maybe he's going for the next one. I don't know what the record is, but maybe.
Pull that up and have a look at that.
We've got Rich up next, 177.5 kilos. So 7.5 kilo jump here, representing the wonderful Strength Fortress, one of the sponsors for this weekend.
So one of the premier powerlifting clubs in Melbourne.
Yeah, I would say one, maybe the second best powerlifting club in the western suburbs.
Don't do it, mate. It's too soon. Still licking my wounds.
I'm still hurt as well.
Two red lights there for Rich on depth. It's a bit of a bummer. He has had a dark past of depth issues.
Yeah.
But he has really corrected them beautifully over the last sort of year. I reckon he's going to smoke his third, but yeah, that'll be a bit of a confidence rattle. It's just disappointing. You don't want to fail on a technicality. That sucks.
No, you don't. And you know, if you were Jez, who's handling him at the moment, would you go attempt same weight, which is what he's doing, or would you go maybe 2.5, 5 kilos up?
I think I'd say the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just make sure, get it on the board.
If it was someone who's like never had a depth struggle in their life, okay, cool. Like, yeah, I reckon you can back it in. But like, yeah, there is that kind of a bit of a history there of like, this is something that bothers me, so like I might just play it conservative. Yeah, I'd probably make the same call as Jeremy.
Yeah. Jerome just went 182.5 kilos, which may look easy. Doesn't have a handler. Maybe he does have a handler. Not entirely sure. He does have a handler. But he went 2.5 kilos up from his first attempt. It's very questionable, given that the second attempt was really easy.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe timed out submitting an attempt card?
Yeah, or yeah, that could be the case. So lifters slash coaches have 1 minute to submit their attempt cards after the lift has completed. So he might have timed out. He's going up 197.5, so yeah, he probably timed out there.
Oh, that's a bummer. Yeah, so if you fail to submit an attempt card within 1 minute of completing the lift, if you have failed your lift, you'll be given the same weight for a reattempt. If it was a successful lift, you'll get 2.5 kilos more. So this is just another example of those like really silly mistakes that we don't want to see. It doesn't look like Jerome has a coach here with him today, which does make things a little bit trickier. You've got to keep yourself grounded, get yourself fired up, and then also do your own administration. It is hard.
Yeah.
So that might have been lost his attempt cards, couldn't find them. It might have been he just blatantly forgot. It might have been that he got to the desk and they're like, sorry, mate, it's already been a minute. But in any case, to blow up your opening attempt and only go up 2.5 kilos, like we said before, it's sometimes just not worth it. It's just tiring.
Yeah, and to go up
like,
next,
I might not have even come out for that. I might have just gone back out the back, sat down, had a little snack, and then come out, 10, 15 minutes later and taken my third.
Yeah, and the same thing with Sushant as well. He went from 185 to 187, and now he's going 10 kilos up from second to third. So again, I guess that's could be detrimental in the long run as well, coming into bench and deads. Daniel now 187.5 kilos for his second attempt.
I did just look up the records for Wayne Belcher. He's competing in the Masters 3, just to clarify.
Yep,
so
Masters
he
3.
actually holds the squat record in that, and he did just beat that under the radar. So his current record is 167.5 kilos in the squat, which he set in the...
in April. I believe that was Shonghold comp.
No, I think he set it in March of 2022.
Oh, okay.
So maybe he's just had some lower performing, or he's just taken that same weight again in recent history.
Yeah.
But that means his attempt just then of he took 175 kilos.
Yep.
That was a 7.5 kilo national record.
Without even realising. And did it so casually too.
Yeah, that was unreal. That wasn't in a hard second.
No.
A record on your second attempt's amazing.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go.
Jason up next now, 195 kilos, so 15 kilo jump from his first attempt. That looked like a pretty cruisy second attempt there from Jason. Three white lights, good lift there. Dylan up next, taking a 10 kilo jump. 205 kilos. Following that, we've got Chris also taking 215 for a 10 kilo jump, and then Francesco rounding out second attempts with 260 kilos. So this will be equal best for Dylan, who would be considered a local lifter, given that trains from Synergy Strength. Down in Somerville, Peninsula Way.
Try was passed once. He's like, if anyone wants to go there, it's on this street. Also, you need to go down this driveway.
And there you go down the Mornington Peninsula Freeway, and you'll see the sign for Somerville, and take that exit.
Thanks, Brad. All right. Dylan, 205.
That was a good lift there. Three white
Oh, wait,
lights.
no, Chris Trudgett,
Chris, 215.
215.
Sleeveless. Just want to make that very clear. Sleeveless for 215.
Sleeveless. So you'll notice most lifters, all of them with the exception of Chris, are wearing knee sleeves, which do provide a bit of compression around the knee. You can usually get a few more kilos out of them. They're also just a lot more comfortable when you have this kind of load on your back. So.
I think he's happy with that.
Stoked. Yeah, beautiful.
Three
Three white
lights.
lights. This is a great
Wow.
lift.
That's amazing.
Most of us wear knee sleeves for a reason. It feels good. It feels supportive. It's like a warm hug for your knees. So for this guy to be like, I don't even need that. It's like, oh yeah, Chris.
I just want that support.
I'm not going to tell you what to do. Your squats are pretty good. All right, Francesco, just huge favourite in this competition. Coming out 20 kilos up from his opening attempts, 240 to 260. 260 in the 75 kilo weight class. This is monstrous. Would he be a chance at best overall lifter in the competition?
I think potentially, yeah. Definitely would be in the running. He's getting closer to that 500 dots mark or above. 260 squats, making it look easy in the 75 kilo weight class. 3 white lights. I wonder if he holds the record for squats from that. Given that his best ever is 270, did that at a local comp. I'm going to say that's assuming Paragon, given that he's from Sydney. Got Leandro up next, 172.5 kilos. From Hustler, down the road, kind of. Not really, but kind of.
I believe that was also a record.
260?
Yeah, Brian Ong currently holds in the 75 class at 248.
Okay, there you go. Maybe he didn't realise he hit a record. Brian must have hit that at Nationals last year.
Yeah, that's 2023 at Nationals.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go. So unofficially, national record without realising.
Yeah,
Wow.
cool.
3 white lights for Leandro.
It's a low-key day.
Rich up next, reattempting 177.5 kilos. Missed his second attempt due to depth.
Yeah, so coming out for 177.5 as a reattempt, he's elected to take the same weight again. I think that was a smart decision. He took this on his second attempt. It means he's strong enough for it, so he's just got to be confident enough to sit down with it.
Couldn't see from this angle.
Yeah, I couldn't really tell.
Might be a close one there.
Just waiting.
Whey, there we go.
3 white lights. Good lift. Good call there.
Good call by the veteran.
Yeah, just a bit of a bummer, eh? When you come out for a second, you should have smoked it,
Yeah.
but that was a good third attempt. Great lift. All right, Wayne Belcher, 180 kilos. So this is a national record. Hugely dominating it, actually. His current record's at 167.5 kilos. So he broke that by 7.5 kilos on his second attempt, and this will be at 12 and, like, who beats a record by 12.5 kilos?
Especially at that age as well.
Man.
It's insane.
I just feel like people look at you in your 30s, like your athletic career is over. It's like, okay, well, I know this guy Wayne, and he thinks you're an idiot.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Bit slower down at the bottom, but I reckon he's hit that.
2 white lights, good lift for Wayne. 180 kilos, national record.
Just pushing that bar over.
Wow.
further. Well
He
done,
could be
Wayne.
a contender possibly for best overall master male. I haven't fact-checked that at all, but I reckon he'd be out there. The thing he's got stacked against him, though, so the best overall master competition doesn't separate for age categories. So it will mean that the masters that are in their 40s are also in competition with the masters that are in their 60s and 70s. So
That might make it a bit more difficult.
yeah, I mean, it makes it a little bit harder.
Slightly.
I don't know. I reckon Wayne's good for it.
Got
If there's a
Mustafa.
man for the job.
Yeah. Mustafa now attempting 180, so missed his first attempt due to technicality, just timed out. Reattempted the same way. Made it pretty easy, but going a 20 kilo jump here,
This was brave.
brave, yeah.
Oh, nice. Wow.
I love being proven wrong.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing.
Yeah, I like being proven wrong when I'm a cynic, not when I'm like, no, I reckon they got it. Oh, that's sick. That was brave. That's what we were saying before. It's like, we're surprised he just came out for 160. Like, go in the warm-up room, just take 160 out there and then come out here and take 170 on your second or something. But, I mean, I don't know. That looked like he had a few kilos up in the tank there.
Yeah.
What do you reckon, another 10? if not more.
Yeah, at least 5.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's just a bit frustrating when you kind of leave kilos on the platform for like a silly mistake, especially like this is nationals, man. It's not like it's local meet. It's like, yeah, it's a bit of a bummer. All right, Daniel, 195 kilos for his third and final squat attempt. He jumped 12.5 from first to second, and now he's taken a 7.5 jump from second to third. Oh, wow. That was a nice third attempt.
It's good run there.
It's like kind of how you want a third attempt to move, right? Like you want it to not absolutely bury you. You don't want to be exhausted by it. But also like when they move super quick, it's like, oh, why didn't you load that for your second? That was gorgeous. 3 white lights. Very, very good third attempt.
Now going every single lift from here onwards over 200 kilos.
So this is Sushant. So Sushant looks as though he didn't submit a card for his second attempt. Squat, which meant he took 185 on his open, then 187.5 on his second. I was surprised he even came out for that, but he did. And now he's jumped 12.5 to 200 kilos. So it's a bit of an odd squat session for Sushant.
Yeah. Jerome's the same thing as well.
Yeah.
He's going to go 182 to 200 after
What
going
happened
180
there,
to
guys?
182.
Like, what were you doing out there? Focus.
Not at nationals.
Well, there's a couple of scenarios that might have played out. Like someone walked past with a tray of snacks and everyone just like got distracted.
And he smokes it as well. It makes it look easy. Yeah, no idea what's going on.
Yeah, and it's like, good on you, but also like, you should have taken that on your second. What were you doing? Where were you, my guy? 3 white lights, good lift. All right, Jerome also distracted by the snack platter coming out of 200 kilos. Someone go and talk to these guys. You got to focus. You're super strong, but you're letting yourself down. 200 kilos, massive milestone. Like if these are PBs, these are like, this is a big day, you know?
Yeah, and for Jerome, his best ever squat last year, 175 kilos. So
Whoa.
potentially a 25 kilo PB, at least comp.
God, it's a lot in a year.
That is a textbook third attempt.
Yeah, that was lovely.
Not so much the second attempt in terms of selection, but I digress. Made it look good.
Put your second
Get it
attempt
down.
in the textbook for what not to do,
Yeah.
and then your third is like, but do this. This was how you should powerlift.
3 white lights for Jerome.
Lovely. Jason Pan, representing no strength. All right, I'm into it. Jason Pan, 205 kilos.
Some of these names, I'm just thinking, I don't know if it's it's real or fake.
It's pretty funny.
This will be a 5 kilo comp PB for Jason if he makes this squat. That looked pretty good.
Nice.
That looked very good. And 3 white lights. Very good for Jason there.
There's kind of a common like whisper that's said around powerlifting of like sometimes the strongest people on the platform are actually not the ones lifting. And it's like, what an all-star crew of spotters and referees we've got up there right now. Like,
Eight here.
that's a strong platform. All right, Dylan coming out now for 215 kilos.
This will be a 10 kilo comp PB for Dylan. Representing Synergy Strength. One of the shortest drives to today, RCA Arc in Rabbit. Whoa, very nice there from Dylan. I want to say, I'm going to wait until the end of Francesco's squat before I say something next because
Yeah, don't jinx him.
yeah, so I'll zip my lips on that commentary. Chris, 217.5 kilos. So 2.5 jump from second to third.
What did his second look like? I don't think it was that hard.
No, it wasn't.
It was like
it was actually pretty
moved
good.
well.
Yeah, and I was very happy with it too.
So this is what we said before. It's like, at this kind of weight, would I come out for 2.5 kilos? No. Like, whether this moves fast or slow, lifting 216.5 kilos, it's tiring. Like, this is a whole lot of extra work that, like, that was great, obviously. I think he could have done more.
Yeah.
But it's like, was it, I don't know. Like, it moved well. That wasn't that taxing because it moved well. But, like, if you've loaded it, it's because you think it's going to be a hard but attempt. Ugh, 2 reds.
Yeah,
like,
see,
that sucks.
See, yeah. And something like that, it's like...
Now, that was time you could have had a rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that weight, would I take 2.5 more from second to third? Absolutely not. And now you just lost like 10 minutes of just chilling out.
And Francesco for the last round of squats for this session, taking a 10-kilo jump. He technically bet his record by 260. I don't think people realise that. I don't think his coach maybe realised that either. But 270 will push his record even further by 10 kilos. Also an equal comp PB. So he's hit this weight before.
That's a bummer.
Just a bit too heavy there.
That's a bummer. Good sport, though. Good sport. Really good catch by the spotters.
Great sportsmanship as well
Yeah.
from Francesco. Love to see that.
Love to see it.
It's rare. It is rare.
I'm
but
very upset by a platform dummy spit.
yeah.
Like, I get it. No one wants to fail. When you do sport, you want to do it well.
Yeah.
But it's like when someone can fail and they're like, look, I did my very best. You guys kept me safe. For that, I'm grateful.
Yeah.
And I'll go lick my wounds out the back.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's very good.
All right, that concludes our squat session of session 2. We'll be taking a 10-minute break before we return for the bench press section.
Which is everyone's favourite lift. It's the most entertaining lift.
We love bench press.
Yeah.
We'll come back in a few minutes. We'll have a few discussions before we start the bench press session. But for now, go have a few minutes break and we'll be back shortly. Thanks, Francis.
Thank you, Billy. That was so good. Yeah. Take your time. All right, welcome back to the second session for bench press, everyone's favorite lift. And I have no one to defend me right now. This session, some big numbers being thrown around here, especially for the 56 kilogram women's raw open. Catherine opening with 45 kilos, then moving all the way down to Lena, 67.5 kilos, over body weight, quite a bit over body weight in terms of her bench press opening attempt. Just want to say a special shout out to all the volunteers for making this weekend happen. Like I said before, I don't know where to start. There's been so many hands to make this work, so many people to make this work. USAPL 2024 Open and Masters National here at RCA Park in Moorabbin. You'll see some of the banners in terms of some of the clubs that have also helped make this weekend happen as well. Shout out to Strength Fortress, Elemental, Paragon, TSF and Paragon, basically two clubs that are pretty much running this weekend in terms of Billy and JP helping out. Billy being one of the meet directors, and then also Beck and Nick as well from Paragon. So coming all the way from Sydney to help out here. Apex, Groove, SR Strength Collective, Strength Culture, Elemental, and also A7 as sponsors as well. So thank you very much to you all this weekend. Catherine, very easy opener there with 45 kilos, and Rachel also opening with the same weight as well. You'll see that bench press is probably the most technical lift out of all three. You'll need to wait for the command from our chief referee for today, well, Liz. In terms of the calls, you'll hear 3 calls. Start, where the bar needs to descend and pause on the chest. You'll hear press command. Bar needs to go all the way up, elbows locked out. And you'll need to wait for the rack command, and then you can bring the bar back into the rack. There's probably some little nuances in terms of USAPL rules as well. One of the big things, and one thing that I noticed one of the lifters in the last session do, is actually have their head up from the bench. That is actually allowed in USAPL, so some lifters will prefer to have the head off the bench. And also, feet on the bench in terms of a starting position is allowed in USAPL as well. You'll see the side referees, they're trying to spot in terms of heel movement. If the heel lifts up, it's not a good lift. Hips need to be on the bench on the bench itself at all times. So if you do see a red light cord, hips coming off the bench, that's usually what happens from our side referees. Downward movement, I think, is basically kind of given in terms of every single lift there. And being the rack command, or start command, or press command, whatever, any command really, it does happen, especially if you're not used to it. And one of the things that sometimes happens is if the bar isn't centered, isn't actually paused on the chest, can't wobble around on the chest, it needs to be dead center. Get that press command, then you can press it all the way back.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the bench press. It can look quite simple to maybe an untrained eye, but for the referees that are trying to identify a whole bunch of different things that could denote a failed lift, there's a lot to look out for. All right, Melanie Spencer here now with 57.5 kilos on opening attempt. That looked quite lovely. You'll also see that the lifters might request what we call a handout from our chief spotter that we've got up here, Colin. So the lifter has 2 options. They can either bring the bar out to their starting position on their own unassisted, or they might ask Colin to hand the bar out to them. Depending on where they set up on the bench, how heavy the bar is relative to their strength, a whole host of different factors, they might prefer to have the bar handed in their starting position. So you'll see Annalise now has just come out and she's communicated with Colin that she would like a handout. So she'll get into a certain position on the bench, And then Colin will jump on up onto the spotting platforms and he'll actually help hand her the bar so she can get ready in her starting position. This might like save her some energy. It might help her get into a position that she's more comfortable. It might just be what she's used to and maybe she's just never done any differently. That's really up to the lifter. It's not essential, but it's an option.
Yeah, and clear and effective communication between either the athlete and the chief spotter, or the coach and the chief spotter is really critical because, especially at some of these weights, if the bar hasn't been, or the instructions isn't clear, you might get a wobbly handout or it might be a bit heavier than what you're used to. So if the lifter or the coach explains it very clearly, they'll actually help you quite a bit. Just not feel, unsettled in terms of getting to that right position.
We're pretty meticulous, aren't we? If the bar's like 1 millimeter in the wrong direction, it's like, oh no, it's all wrong.
If it's not the Alico combo rack or bars and everything, oh no, throw a hissy fit.
Yeah, we're pretty precious. But we need that kind of precision at this level.
Yeah.
Right, we've got Annika coming out next for 60 kilos also. Her clock's been running a bit. She's down to 22nd on the clock. I couldn't see what was happening there, but something was holding her up. She's come out now. I don't know if she's sensitive to how much time she's got left on the clock.
I don't think so.
She's taken her time there to communicate her instructions, but they're going to be unimportant if she doesn't get that handout in the next 7 seconds. Oh, she might get it.
Oh,
3 seconds left on the clock. Wow.
And I feel like, again, might be early judgment here, but I feel like she might have rushed it in terms of just getting, the bar down to her chest.
Yeah,
Looked
absolutely.
very quick, and it just almost like wobbled a bit. So
You can really feel that time pressure. So in that instance, Annika only needs to get the start command within that time frame. So to achieve the start command, she needs to be in the correct starting position. So she needs to have the bar brought out over her chest. She needs to have her heels flat on the ground. She needs to have her hips in contact with the bench, elbows locked, for the referees to be satisfied she's in the correct starting position. Once she's got the starting call, she's got no rush. She can take her time to bring the bar down, but it's like she's just felt like the haste of the situation, the pressure of like, oh God, I'm going to time out. And she's like dumped the bar down on her chest. It's just a panic response. It's superhuman.
Yeah.
But alas, she pressed it out and it was totally fine.
yeah, I was just about to say she did get one red light as well, and I think that might be hips coming off the bench from a right side referee. So yeah.
So Francis touched on this a bit before. So lifters need to have their hips on the bench. What will often happen is we drive through our legs when we bench press. It's called leg drive. We really use our legs to hold us in position and get kind of this strength kind of going up through our kinetic chain. When we press through our legs, sometimes what will happen is that our hips lose contact with the bench, and that's actually a cause for disqualification of the lift. The other thing the referee is looking out for is that our heels are in contact with the ground. So this rule really differs among different powerlifting competitions and federations. Within the USAPL, our heels must remain in contact with the floor for the entire lift duration. So yeah, our side referees, you can see them a little bit in the frame of the live stream, but like they're down really, really low. They're really looking to see, like, can I see the lifter's hips? Can I see the lifter's heels? Because they're the things they're looking out for. The chief referee, who's at the head of the lifter, they can't see those things. So they're looking for things like the downward movement of the bar, making sure it descends and ascends in one fluid movement. They're looking for the bar being stationary on the chest. The bar needs to be brought to a complete stop before the chief referee will give that press command. So the side and the chief referees, they're looking for sort of different things to create this overall view of the lifter.
Yeah, and one of the things in which the chief referee can see and which the side referees can't see is the elbows being locked out. Sometimes that's called, but given that it's only the chief referee that can see the elbows being locked out, it can be kind of an advantage. I don't want to say anything out. I have said it in the past as well anyway, so it's not really, insider information.
Industry secret.
Yeah. But sometimes, if the elbows aren't locked out at the start, you might get a red light from the chief referee, but you can still get 2 white lights if everything else is perfect from side referees.
Like we said before, it's just a majority decision call. You only need 2 whites, so if only one referee sees something, you can get away with it. The problem lies in there is that if the chief referee sees that your elbows aren't locked, but this one side referee sees hips off the bench, you've got 2 red lights for 2 different things, but alas, it's a disqualified lift.
High risk, high reward. And I said nothing. Thank you very much.
All right, last lifter in the group, Maria, coming out for 67.5 kilos for opening attempt. So remember these women, we're looking at 56 kilo women here. So these attempts here are like over 10 kilos over body weight as an opening attempt. Like, it's heavy.
Very impressive. Very, very impressive weights being shifted on the bench press here. fact that 3 lifters all opening with 67.5 is just unreal.
Huge. So we'll commonly see much smaller jumps in the bench press now. So when we're jumping from first to second attempt, second, third attempt in load selection, we will notice that the absolute loads being lifted by the women here are going to be a lot lower than, say, in the squat or the deadlift. So as such, the incremental jumps they're taking in their attempts are going to be much smaller. It won't be uncommon now to see 2.5 kilo jumps between attempts, which is exactly what we're seeing here by Rachel. So not uncommon, where I kind of roasted a bit on the, the men's squats in the last session, saying, man, I would not jump 2.5 kilos. It's just not worth it. When we're looking at women's bench press with these loads that are objectively smaller, it can be a very, very sensible decision. So we've got Rachel Rodriguez now. As I said, she's jumped 2.5 kilos from 45 up to 47.5 for her second attempt bench press. And like a pretty common strategy around these kind of loads would be a 2.5 kilo jump from first to second and a 2.5 kilo jump from second to third, and it would be sound. A 5 kilo jump at these loads, you can imagine, is like over a 10% jump from one attempt to the next. That's huge. It's the equivalent of a 200 kilo squatter jumping from 200 to 220. Like that's what we're looking at here.
Yeah, exactly right.
And it's a make or break.
Yeah, the 2.5 jump is massive at these weights in terms of percentage increase, like you said, Billy. Over 10% for some of these lifters, and you've seen it right there. Rachel made 45, missed 47.5. You've got Catherine here attempt 50 kilos after making her first attempt at 45. So 5 kilo jump, quite big, 10% increase.
Yeah, it's aggressive.
It is aggressive, yeah, and that's why I guess bench press, especially I feel like for females, does make a huge difference as well, especially if you miss a lift, because that sets you back big time.
Yeah. That was nice. Very lovely. Cool. 50 kilos there for Catherine out of Melbourne Uni. 3 white lights. Good lift. All right. Next up, we've got Joanne. So Joanne is competing in the Masters 2 category in the 50 to 59 kilo age class. Same thing. She's taking a 2.5 kilo jump, 55 to 57.5 kilos. And it's not an exaggeration. Like a lot of these women have been competing at a high level for a long time, right? Looking at a national level competition. It's not an exaggeration to say to add 2.5 kilos to a bench press for these women could be a years-long journey. So they might be making progress in the gym. They might have gotten 500 grams stronger. They might have got a kilo stronger, 1.5 kilos stronger, 2 kilos stronger. But to get that 2.5 kilos on the bar, it's going to be a long road. You're looking at it, Fran. In solidarity with all of those that have been training tirelessly for 10 years to get 2.5 kilos on their bench. Yeah. We're in the trenches with you.
I'd cry for 2.5 kilo increase on my bench. I really would.
Oh, the tears shed over a bench press.
Oh, we've all been there.
All right, that was a lovely attempt by Joanne at 57.5 kilos. Good lift. All right, Melanie Spencer coming up for 60 now. Again, a 2.5 kilo jump, 57 to 60. So these attempts here now are all over body weight.
Yeah. I was just about to add, you'll see, again, some lifters preferring to wear heel shoes, some prefer flats. Pretty similar in terms of squats, personal preference there. I'm in the category, for example, of wearing heels for bench just because I have shorter legs. Just feels a bit easier in terms of leg drive, getting that right position. And, interesting enough, lifters can also opt for, I guess a raised platform as well, 5 centimetre increments if they so wish to choose. So something else to, for some lifters to also consider as well.
Yeah, so as we said before, your heels do need to be in contact with the ground. If you have a heeled shoe, it means the heel of the shoe can be in contact with the ground rather than the heel of your foot, and it would still be permissible. So it can mean that the lifters might be able to have their feet a little bit further back towards their body. Maybe that feels favourable for them. In terms of, we call them bench blocks, which is the raised platforms we might put under a lifter's foot. They're typically used for lifters with, as Francis said, shorter legs who maybe struggle to reach the ground or can't get like adequate pressure to the ground with their legs kind of dangling on the end of the bench. All right, Annalise, 62.5. Wow. Can we get it? What's her bench history? We obviously saw this massive jump from her last squat performance to this competition. What's her PB in her bench?
That was her equal comp PB.
Oh, and that was good.
So I reckon she'll still go 65 kilos, but that I reckon maybe even 5 kilo really.
Yeah.
Push that boundary.
And like we said, it's like a 5 kilo jump on a bench press is just massive. She has put in 65 kilos, but it's like, you know, her top end strength is probably somewhere between 65 to 67.5, but you're only allowed to take 2.5 kilo increments. So her option there is to take 65. But I mean, she's obviously making tremendous rate of progress right now. It's like she'll load up 70 probably in the next 12 months.
Annika here.
That was a grindy second attempt. Yeah, that was hard.
You can see that bar on this attempt was actually a lot slower down to the chest as opposed to the first attempt.
We sort of saw that in the squat too, right? Like when lifters start getting towards these like heavier loads, they start hesitating.
Yeah.
It's like moving slower, a little bit more carefully, like dumping your max attempt load into your chest is like it's frightening, right? So it's like naturally we see some degree of hesitation. Bringing the bar down to your chest slowly, while it might feel more in control and give you a little bit more confidence, it's more fatiguing.
Yeah. And it's also like just a mental thing as well for some of these lifters. You know, for your second and third attempt, that might be the first time they're attempting these weights. So, you know, the mental factor comes into play as well, not just strength.
Too heavy there.
That was a 5 kilo jump.
That was a 5 kilo jump. So as we said, we haven't seen many 5 kilo jumps on the board because 5 kilo jump is a big jump. But we saw it there from Angela. She sent it, which is a bit of a bummer. However, I will say, she failed her second squat on strength and she came out and she blew it up on her third. Yeah. So these are obviously loads that like they know she's good for. She can do these numbers. So she's already said, yep, I'll take 67.5 again on my third attempt. So we'll see her come out and reattempt that on her third. We've got Lena Tran here now at 70 kilos. Again, monstrous at these body weights. What's Lena's best bench ever?
72.5.
72.5. So she's probably going to look to reattempt that today.
Sorry, no, 67.5.
Ah, all right. It's PB. Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
All right, 70 kilos. Amazing. That was a great bench press. See what the referees say.
Over best ever.
Yeah, good lift. Cracking. Wow. A 2.5 kilo bench PB on your second attempt is like you're having a good day.
Yeah.
All right, Winnie Lay now. What's the bench history of Winnie?
65 kilo.
Wow, so she's opened heavier than her best ever.
Yeah.
And she was already got a pretty solid qualifying total.
Yeah.
We've got a good competition here.
No, very good competition, yeah. And judging from, you know, her bench press during training, it's just looks so easy.
With my insider knowledge, because I train at ESS now. Get out of here, Francis.
I train at 2 gyms, thank you very much, Billy. And I also know TSF lifters, so yeah, I've got multiple insider knowledge.
Ah, yes, just doing research, of course.
Research purposes.
Scoping out the ops.
Unfortunately, TSF is now a hub.
No, you're working undercover for us. That was a quick press command. Like that looked like it was like almost touch and go. You know, that was nice. Through that lights. So the chief referee will issue a press command when they see that the bar is stationary and in control on the lifter's chest. So if the bar comes down and hits the chest and it's kind of wobbly, they're not going to get a quick press command. It's going to be slow. However, if a lifter can bring the bar down to their chest and like make it motionless, super controlled, that it's so obvious to the referee that it's motionless, they can get that press command fast.
Yeah.
Pausing that bar on your chest and holding it there for a length of time is so fatiguing. So if you can bring the bar down to your chest, get it still and get it under control quickly, you're going to be rewarded with a really quick press command and it's going to make you feel so much stronger. So a really important part of the bench press skill.
Now have Maria up next, 72.5 kilos. So 5 kilo jump from her first attempt. Also equal PB for comp on the bench press, and looks like she hit that pretty well. I don't think there should be any issues here. Oh, no, there is. No, I've jumped the gun there. I've jumped the gun. As per usual, as a commentator, I've jumped the gun. I believe
Yellow cards.
hips have come up the bench, if judging by our two-side referees there. That usually would be the call, and that will be actually pretty obvious because as soon as the referees see light passing through from contact with the hips and the bench, it's pretty clear and obvious to it's a red light there, and I think that's what's happened to Maria there. Strength looked pretty good though, so just a technical thing, make sure the hips stay on bench.
All right, this is Rachel now. So she's failed this load on her second attempt. I think that was a failure on strength.
Failure on strength, yeah.
Ooh, that was... Did you say that was almost beating the press command too?
Yeah,
That was just
I
like, I'm just going to touch and go and have a
Yeah.
send and see if I get away with it.
Yeah, I felt like she was almost like pre-anticipating that bench,
Yeah.
that call there. And unfortunately, in terms of strength-wise, not there. But she still gets 45 kilos on the board, so
I
not too
don't
bad.
hate that as a strategy. If you go, if I pause this, I'm going to fail it on strength. So I might just touch and go, and maybe the press command's fast enough that I get away with it.
Yeah, some people try to, just
Trade secrets.
guess that one. But, some referees might not give a quick enough press
I
command.
don't think it's a great strategy. I think it's a terrible one either, though.
Yeah.
Wow, that was
That was a good bench.
some control. That was 5 kilo jumps from first to second, second to third.
Yeah.
That's brave.
And that's an equal PB
Nice.
comp for Catherine as well.
Epic.
So, it was a bit more controlled on the way down, so it took a bit longer in terms of getting that press command, but once she got that press
Beautiful.
command, just went with it. Did very well there. Joanne next, 60 kilos, another 2.5 kilo jump from second to third. Very good fight there from Joanne.
So lovely.
3-1 lights, good lift. Give you a bit of a trade secret here, Billy, because, I've learnt the ways of this was actually what I learnt on my first day of reffing. So some lifters will come out. So some lifters will come out and chalk their bums. And, Vicky O'Brien taught me that's a big no-no. And the reason for that is whilst some of these lifters or coaches might think, a bit more grip on the bench, keep the bum down, it's actually a lot easier to see the hips come off the bench because white on black,
Much
it's gonna
easier
be
to see than a
very
black
obvious.
suit than a black on a black bench. Yeah.
Yeah. So, whilst you think it might give you that additional grip,
It's not worth it.
not worth it. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I hate to see it. I'm like, oh, you're robbing yourself. Like, don't do it. As a notorious bum off bench girly, I would never be chalking my butt.
Melanie smoking that 62.5 kilo third attempt there. And Annalise coming out with 65 kilos for her third attempt.
Her second attempt, this is what we said, like her second attempt was unreal. She's probably good for 67.5, but like also that 2.5 kilo jump is just huge. So
Yeah, and it's probably, in the plan of her coach as well. If, the plan was 60 kilos, we'll take 2.5 kilo jump.
Yeah.
Doesn't really make sense to go 62.5 to 67.5 when you're gone first and second 2.5 kilo jumps.
And like we said, I'm making assumptions. I'm going to assume that Annalise is a fairly new lifter because her rate of progression is just insane. Look at that. So easy. Like her rate of progression is so fast. It's like you only see that in someone that is, I'm not going to say only, that's probably a bit like absolutist, but it's like, it's rare to see that rate of progress in someone that's been around for so long.
Yeah.
As someone who is maybe a newer lifter, it's like her coaches don't need to get the absolute best out of her today. It's like her career's not coming to an end, it's just starting. So with that in mind, if like she does some third attempts where she might have left some kilos, there for the taking, it's like, cool. She'll clock them and some when she competes in 4 months' time, It's like she's not running out of time. I'm excited to see where she goes because, like, man, like, what a weapon. All right, we've got Annika now coming out for 65 kilos. Second attempt at 62.5 was admittedly hard. Yeah, no, it's too hard. So you might have heard me say before, if you were tuning into the squat session, that if I have a very, very, very hard second attempt squat, I may or may not take my third with 2.5 kilos more because it is just so fatiguing. With the bench, we don't often see like that huge amount of fatigue accumulate in like a 2.5 kilo jump in a very hard third attempt. The muscles that we use in the bench press are very different to the muscles we use in the deadlift, and so we can kind of get away with fatiguing ourselves a little bit more in the bench press, even if we're going to come out for our deadlifts shortly thereafter. So I don't think that was bad decision making from Monica. Sometimes it's just worth just like having a go and seeing what happens. All right, we've got Angela now. So Angela did fail her second attempt to bench press at 67.5 kilos. She did fail it on strength. We saw the same happening in her squat, and she smoked her third. She gets it up. I don't know if she got the press command. Let's see what they say.
She did get the press command, but it looked a bit shaky on the chest. Yeah.
Oh, we said this before. She gets 2 white lights. It's a good lift. So this is what I reckon happened there. I think she beat the press command.
Yeah.
So the lifter has to bring the bar down to the chest and wait for the press command from the chief referee. However, it can be really hard for the side referees to see that. Like they hear it and see it. It can be really hard to time that. So she actually got a red light there from the chief referee, and I'm going to say that was for beating the press command.
Yeah, I think
2
so
side
too.
referees didn't see it. They gave her 2 white lights. And this goes to what I said before with my not perfect strategy, but also not a terrible one, is that if you know that you're probably going to fail it on strength if you pause it, just touch and go it and see what happens. And she got it. That was epic. So a really funny day here for Angela. She's failed both of her seconds on strength, got them successfully on her third.
Yeah.
What an odd day of lifting. But like, credit to her, man. Like, to fail a lift and then come out and do it successfully, like 6, 7, 8 minutes later. That takes some mental fortitude, man. Like, what a tough
Huge.
girl.
Very huge.
Epic.
We've got
Right.
Winnie up next.
We just saw Lena Tran, 72.5 kilos
Smoked
on
it.
her third attempt.
Smoked
Smoke show. She's
Yeah.
having a cracking day. She's 6 from 6 after her bench
which is
campaign.
huge. And we did say, got to make the lifts.
You got to make lifts. That's how you win. All right, we've got Winnie Lay, 72.5 kilos, third and final bench press attempt.
And then rounding off our first flight, we've got Maria jumping up and attempting 75 kilos. I think that is a national record, so
What did she fail her second on?
hips.
Hips.
coming off, yeah.
It's brave.
But the strength looked there. That was the
Yeah.
thing. The strength was definitely there.
Cool.
I think it's just technical.
Good fight.
It's great effort there from Winnie.
Gravity's strong sometimes.
Yeah. It's a bit different down in the eastern suburbs.
Yeah, the 10.28 meters per second square is particularly aggressive here. Wait, it's not 10 point. What? Whoa, isn't it 9.8?
9.8.
Whoa, it's been a while. Right, 9.8.
And now it's 1 for 1 in terms of mathematics. Well, technically physics.
Maths with
but
Billy
we'll
in
take it.
France. We'll stick with adding up 2.5 kilo increments. All right, Maria, third, final bench press attempt of this group of women, 75 kilos. She failed her second attempt for her hips coming off the bench. So hips off the bench can make you feel a little bit stronger. Holding them down can make it a little bit harder. Let's see what happens. Oof. I reckon that was a beat the press command again. I mean, it didn't matter, but
And that makes it a bit difficult against her battle with Lena. Because she's now on 67.5 kilos for her bench press. And I'm just going to quickly check the numbers here because
yeah, that's hard. Losing 7.5 kilos she just left behind. Yeah, so she got her first attempt at 65, jumped to
70,
70, and then to 72.5.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like to lose 7.5 kilos, like at these weights, that is really significant. Like you really put yourself behind, or you really open the door for other lifters now. Like Francis keeps saying, you win by making attempts, which is like, it sounds so damn obvious, but when you take a bit of a gamble, you load up a bar that's, a 50-50 chance of getting it, or you take an aggressive strategy, it can pay off, but if it doesn't pay off, it really opens the doors for the other lifters to come through.
Yeah.
And we've seen some favourite, time and time again, you see a favourite lifter let someone else come through because they've missed an aggressive attempt.
Yeah, and just to go off, the subtotal at the moment. So Lena's sitting in first place with 208.
Yeah.
Maria's on 202.5.
Okay.
And Annalise on 200. Annika's on 190.
Okay.
So it's,
There's not a lot in that.
shifted to Lena's favour. She's, 5.5 kilos ahead of Maria. And in terms of deadlift, Maria's best was 160. Lena's best is 157.5.
Okay.
And the difference at the moment is just 2.5 kilos in terms of
So
opening
Maria's
attempt.
just left 7.5 on the platform for a bench press. That would have put her in the lead.
Yeah.
It's costly. That's really, really costly. Yeah, that's tough. All right, Leandro here with 100 kilos for his opening attempt bench press, lifting out of Hustler Gym in Moorabbin. That was a very easy opening attempt. What?
They're not
Hustlers
down
are-
in Moorabbin.
Oh, where are they? Mount Waverley?
Something like that, yeah.
Hustler somewhere on the other side of the West Gate.
Bit further up north from here.
Somewhere that's hard to get to in peak hour traffic from the western suburbs. I don't know, man. All right. What, Mount Waverley? Is Mount Waverley?
Yeah, that's not Moorabbin.
No, I know it's not. I'm just saying, is it Mount Waverley?
I don't know. I've never been there.
All right. He knows where Synergy is, though.
Yeah.
All right. We've got Chris Trudgett going out for 107.5 kilos as his opening attempt. So yeah, Chris is competing in the Masters category of 40 to 49, the 90 kilo men's class. Lovely, super nice.
Something which is permitted in the bench press is that the feet can slide and shift. I mean, sometimes it might happen because, you know, after a long day of lifting, the platform might get a bit more slippery. Lifters can't chalk up their shoes. That's one thing that which is illegal. So yeah, feet can shift as long as the heels don't raise from the platform. It will be deemed a good lift.
Rich Weimar here with 110 kilos. Looks really good to me.
Good, 3 white lights, good lift.
Cracking lifting from the Strength Fortress lifter. All right, Jason Pan coming out next from no strength. 120 kilos on his opening attempt.
I swear some of these names are made up, Billy.
I reckon it might be. If you had a powerlifting gym, Francis, what would you call it? You can sit on that for a little while if you need to. But I'd like to hear your
Fortress
answer.
Strength.
That's super awesome, actually. I quite
Elemental
like it.
Fortress Society.
Aww.
Groove
Groove Fortress Society. My 3 favourite clubs.
Yes.
All right,
Took
we've got
the
the
words out of
Groove
my
Fortress Society.
GFS.
We love all our friends. Well, we're finishing each other's
Sentences.
powerlifting club names. Great attempt by Jason. 3 white lights. Very, very good.
Daniel also up next with 120 kilos. Followed by Jerome as well. Daniel representing Sim Strength, who's got quite a number of lifters, even just this morning. So
Big weekend for head coach Josh Sim.
very busy man.
Very busy man.
Smoke. Absolutely smoked that though.
Super lovely. Right, so who have we got at the top of this group? I've obviously got Francesco, he is just so far in front of the other lifters, assuming all goes well. Who are our other favourites? Sushant?
Sushant looks pretty good. Yeah, 200 squat. Opening at 140 bench, so that's a pretty big number. Dylan looks pretty good too. 215. Third attempts with 132.5 kilo opening bench.
Yeah, it's really those 3 up the front, isn't it?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you're really looking at, you know, the podium. I think Francesco is well and truly ahead of everyone else in terms of that first place, but second and third's up for grabs. And at the end of the day, saying that you're second and third at nationals is huge.
Yeah,
That's
it's a big
still
statement.
Massive achievement.
Yeah, I'd brag about it.
Yeah. Would you
So
put that
Sean-
on your powerlifting, on your Instagram?
Put it on my Instagram, I'd put it on my LinkedIn, put it on my Christmas cards, put it on my resume.
Email description. Billy Asprey, number 2 in Australia. Oh, foul lift there from Jerome.
Blue and yellow cards.
Yeah.
What was that? What did you see?
I don't know.
Not sure. All right, yeah.
Terrible commentating because I didn't see what happened.
All right, just was a bad lift.
Yeah, just checking with Chris White. He just said the lift was slow, so. Thanks.
To clarify, you are actually allowed to fail. You're actually allowed to lift slowly. That's actually okay. So we've got no insight on that one. We'll report back.
Yeah.
We've got Mustafa here, opening on 125 kilos.
Bit of a shaky start for his nationals, I guess, competition, but coming out pretty strong there, and it's a good lift for his bench press. So, I think it's big respect for someone to come back from something that's quite jarring, really, mentally. So, yeah, hopefully he has a great day of lifting, just improves.
It is hard to come back from like, there's a saying that says the best lifters are the ones with the shortest memories. It's like you need to go through something shit, having a scrappy squat, missing something, and being able to just forget about it, move on, and come out for your second attempt as though it didn't happen. It's hard to do. Everyone comes into the day going, I want to go 9 from 9 to. No one comes in and goes, I'd love to go 7 from 9.
Yeah.
Everyone comes in going, I want 9 from 9. I would love to PB X, Y, and Z lift. I would love to achieve X placing on the podium, whatever it might be. But no one comes in going, I want to go 6 from 9.
Yeah.
So when you come in and you just have some stupid mistake on your opening attempt, that means that you miss it. Or even if you failed it on some other technicality, it's hard to ground yourself, calm yourself down, and come back out and do the right thing on your second attempt. It is hard. So credit where credit's due. Really, really admirable. Same thing for Sushant. It's Sushant's position there for maybe a second today. So with that in mind, it's he's coming in today to be pretty competitive. He's looked at the rankings, he's looked at the competition, he's known how he's going to be positioned for the day. So to then come in and not submit an attempt card for a second attempt squat, it's
silly.
It's silly, but it's disappointing.
Yeah.
And to go oh man, that was just such a stupid mistake by me. But then ground yourself, come out, squat it anyway, and then carry on with your day. It takes a lot of maturity. But on that note, we've got Sushant here with 140 kilos on his opening attempt bench press.
Huge opening, nearly double body weight.
It's massive. When you look at the strength of someone like Francesco, and this guy's only 5 kilos behind him on his opening attempt bench press. It's these are big numbers.
Wow, very easy.
Yeah, stunning. Okay, stoked. Put your attempt card in.
Quick. There we go, he's got a handler.
All right.
Maybe he's on top of it this time.
Let's go, boys. Good job.
Francesco, 145 opening bench. Got a bit of a crowd behind him.
He's got a, fan group. They travel as a pack, this group from Stoic. It's really lovely.
From Sydney?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sydney group.
I think I'm a big Francesco fan as well.
Yeah,
Fran.
I am too.
Wow, easy.
Lovely opener.
Easy.
Really dialed in lifter. His technique's really lovely too. 3 white lights, good lift. All right, going back to the top now. That rounds out round 1 of bench press for these boys. So we're on to second attempts now. Starting the group is Wayne Belcher, who is our Masters 3 lifter for this group. So competing in the 60 to 69 year age bracket. Wayne coming out for a second attempt at 105 kilos. I'm interested to know what the national records are here, since he very on the down low beat the national squat record without making any fuss. So let's see.
Was best ever bench is 107.5 kilos, so wouldn't be surprised if he holds that record. So that'll still be 2.5 kilos under.
Great.
Wow.
Wow. It's epic.
Very controlled on the way down from Wayne and punches it through on the way up and gets those 3 white lights.
Okay, so that is an equal national record that he holds.
Oh.
So he benched 105 kilos in March last year at the Australian Nationals and International Open.
Yep.
So.
And he's hit 107.5 before, so
Right.
maybe 107.5 to 110.
Yeah, for his third attempt and have a go at that record.
Yep.
Well, I mean, he can take any 500 gram
110.
increment now. He's taking 110, but
Yeah.
he could, in theory, take any 500 gram increment.
Yeah.
All right, Leandro here, 107.5 kilos, up 7.5 from his opener. Super smooth.
Interesting to have the safeties up pretty high as well. I only say that because, especially at a comp where you do have spotters on the side, I know it's a safety thing, but you do have spotters on the side who are there to catch your weights if you do fail. Sometimes having your safeties up quite high might be detrimental because you might clip the safeties on the way down.
Yeah.
So, it might be something that coaches do, and I know like this is a personal preference, but at a comp, I put it at the minimum because there's not really a need as much.
Yeah. It's a good point.
It's like minimizing just clipping.
Minimizing obstacles, right?
Yeah, it's the same thing that I know. Good lift there from Chris. I know that's the same thing that JP used to do in the early days when he was coaching clients, where he would have lifters have the racks or one side in. Like I know when I started, it was the same thing.
Trade secret.
Which you are allowed to as well. Which we actually haven't seen anyone ask for
we don't really do that anymore.
racks in.
Yeah, I like to have an obscure safety rack height so that it takes the spotters a little bit more time to adjust my rack. And I get a little bit more time to just anxiously ruminate at the side of the platform.
Trade secret.
Trade secrets. So that can be a thing too, just making it, a lot of people will just nominate the lowest height, and so therefore it's just one less thing that the spotters have to do, which is very courteous.
This is a national record from Rich. 115.5, sorry.
That looked nice.
I was going to say Jez looks happy, but Jez always looks happy.
Jez always looks happy.
We'll go off
there we
with the
go, good
lights.
lift.
National record for Rich. That is absolutely huge.
That's so
Second
epic.
attempt.
115.5 kilos. Hasn't been powerlifting for a very long time either. Well, he's been around strength training for a while. Powerlifting's a couple of years, so.
Yeah, I think his first comp was last year.
Yeah.
I think at TSF,
Yeah.
actually. And then afterwards he joined TSF. And
yeah, clip-in records
very
that early
well.
on's pretty rad. All right, Daniel here, 125 kilos for his second attempt.
So this is not far off his best ever bench, which is 130.
Okay. We're probably lining up to take that again today if this goes well.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was very easy.
130 seems reasonable. What would you put in?
130.
Yeah.
130, equal PB, and he's weighed in a lot lighter too, so don't be surprised if he's actually going for
that,
dots.
Wade. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to go ask them in the break. What was that decision?
Yeah. I'll go find Josh. I'll ask
cool.
him. Yeah.
That'll be good. All right, Jason Pan coming out now for 130 kilos. Up 10 kilos from his first to his second. That's a pretty big jump.
It is a big jump. 10 kilo jump for bench is huge. It's actually,
Uncommon.
and I think his best ever bench was 135 as well. So interesting call there from his coach. If No Strength is a coach, but I'm going to say probably is. Ooh. What is going on here? That was the wrong man. I think Jerome came out.
Oh no, he's only got 15 seconds left on the clock.
And this is where it's very
Right,
critical
time
to
pressure
have a
here.
coach or handler
Here we
pay
go.
attention.
Wow.
Good recovery.
Composure there is unreal, hey. To have to run out to the platform, get in position, and then execute a skill at your top end of your strength.
Three
Wow.
white lights.
Yeah, really, really well composed. Waiting on the referee decision.
Got Jerome up next. He failed 120 kilos. I think it was... Actually,
was a
it was
good
the one
lift,
that no one knew what happened.
Yes.
We're just going to say it went slow according to Chris White. But attempting 130 kilos, like, what was it going up 10 kilos?
Oh. To
Interesting.
fail and jump 10.
Oh, I don't know about this. I do
It's a
not know
bold
about this.
strategy, Cotton.
Let's see how it plays out.
Oh, I hope he got that.
It looked a bit
Oh,
downward from my terrible view.
Oh, I'm nervous.
Oh!
3 white lights. Thank
Thank you.
God, that would have been a disaster.
That was stressful.
So, bit of context there. Jerome has opened at 120. He's failed that. He's jumped 10 kilos to 130, and like that was hard.
Yeah, that was
Like if anything went a little bit askew there, that would have been all over. And at that point, with no valid bench press attempt on the board, it would all boil down to his third attempt, which is so much pressure at a weight that is obviously challenging for him.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was almost the end of his day. Yeah, well fought, well fought. All right, we'll start for now. 132.5 kilos.
And the interesting thing with Jerome is that his best ever bench was 122.5. Yeah.
So his best attempt ever, 132.5.
122.5.
122.
Yeah.
That was a very interesting decision.
Yeah. Same thing with Mustafa as well. Went 7.5 kilos, and that was a tricky second attempt.
Yeah. They're just a bit more aggressive than they need to be.
Yeah. Probably a bit too, overly aggressive. Yeah. Got Dylan coming out now with 140 kilos. Equal best comp bench here.
Like, if you're going to jump 7.5 kilos, you want it to move like that, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's when you're going to jump 7.5 kilos. That was a nice lift. Whatever.
Yeah.
Clear right
That's a lift there.
All right. Sushant also jumped 7.5 kilos. I think his opener was really good, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think it was pretty good.
Really strong bench press.
Best ever is 142.5, so
Wow.
5 kilo increase. And he hit that in February.
Cool. All right. Making gains.
5 kilo increase.
What's
in
the
bench
secret,
press.
Sushant?
$1 million question. Some of these lifters taking just a bit more time, which is perfectly valid, given that you do have a full minute. Ooh, I think he jumped that.
You reckon?
Yeah, jumped the command, yeah. Bad angle. There you go. There you go. There you go.
2 white lights, good lift. We're going to say that was a red light for the chief referee for missing the press command, or beating the press command, rather.
Yeah.
Which, as we said before, it's like the side referees can't always see it. Like, you can't always see the bar moving off the chest because it's obstructed by the plates. So, a couple of lifters getting away with this today. Just the nature of the beast, isn't it?
Yeah. But he still gets a good lift, so that's all that matters, really.
Oh, he's stoked.
Yeah. Francesco now attempting 150 kilos. Best ever, 162.5, which is insane. Smokes
Wow.
it, smokes it.
Awesome.
Too easy there from Francesco.
What did you say his best is? 152.
162.5.
162, so it's a bit down.
Yeah.
Huh. I wonder what's the story there.
He's got a comfortable lead, so
Yeah.
I think as long as he hits his
Make lifts, am I right?
deadlift, just make the lifts.
Yeah, interesting. All right, we're back to the top of the group now. This is now the third attempt bench press, final bench presses for the session.
It's been very entertaining, Billy. I'm not saying that sarcastically. I really mean it. It's been really entertaining.
I'm glad you think so, Francis, as a fan of the sport.
Yeah, I love bench.
Yeah,
I love
no,
bench.
it's been
Until it hates me, and then I hate it,
Yeah.
but then I love it.
Bit of drama. All right, Wayne Belcher, 110 kilos. This is a national record attempt. Oi.
Ooh. I was just about to say, textbook,
That was
but
fast off the chest. That looked, I mean, I haven't got a
He's
great
got
view,
it,
but
yeah.
3 white lights. Good,
Yeah,
that's a national record in the Masters 3
Wow.
category for Wayne Belcher, beating his own record by 5 kilos. That is epic.
unreal. Well
Super
done,
cool.
Wayne.
The cool thing about beating records as a Masters lifter, it's like every time you beat the record, it's like you're older, like you're on the higher end of that age bracket.
Yeah.
So to beat them becomes more impressive.
Yeah.
Like, not only are you getting stronger, you know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
sick.
It's amazing.
Well done, Wayne. That was tremendous.
It's Wayne's world.
It's Wayne's world. We're just living in it. All right. Leandro, 112.5 kilos.
This will be 2.5 kilos over his comp best.
He's having a good day. He's flying from five so far. Will this be 6 from 6? It moved. He's opted out.
So,
And my view's not amazing. 2 white lights. Good lift. That's all he needs.
needs.
Red light from that left referee. Maybe hips off the
I
bench.
think hips off the bench on that one. Yeah. Looked a bit wobbly from a terrible angle, but yeah. 1 red light, 2 whites, still good
Good
lift.
enough. All right, we got Rich Weimar coming out now. He has just taken the national record in the Masters 2 90 kilos class with 115.5 kilos. So he's jumped up 2 kilos here to 117.5. So this would be to extend his own record. Second attempt wasn't ultra fast. I think this is like a 50-50. No, not today. It was the other 50 that won today.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Still gets a national.
Yeah, still gets a national record, 115.5 kilos. What I like to say here is it's like he was successful at 115.5, unsuccessful at 117.5. At most, he's left 2 kilos on the platform. You know, like his strength is somewhere in the middle there. It's like there wasn't much more for him to do. That was great. Well done,
Yeah,
Rich.
and it's a really good call from Jez, and I would say coaches as well at TSF, given that, you know, 115.5, the only way anyone can beat that is if they go 117.5.
Yep.
So, yeah, just puts a bit more pressure, like at least like at local comp, for example. At national level, you can chip it.
Chris Trudgett, 117.5. It was a good fight. Still waiting for the referee decision. 2 white lights. It's a good lift. He's having a good day too. All right, next up we have Daniel coming out for 127.5, electing to take just a 2.5 kilo jump from his second to his third.
Just want to quickly go off some subtotals, Billy.
Hit me.
So we have Sushant on 347.5 kilos.
Yep.
Dylan with 355 kilos.
Yep.
And Francesco clearly in the lead, 410 kilos.
Cool.
So close battle between Dylan and Sushant.
For that second place position.
Yeah, very close. And Sushant looks like, well, at the moment, what is he, 7.5 kilos under, but his opening attempt for dead is 5 kilos over Dylan, so it will come down to
I love this
deadlifts.
kind of battle, eh?
Yeah.
Like the subtotal versus the deadlifter. Yeah. Cool, that'll be exciting to see that play out. Cool, good lift there for Daniel. 3 white lights at 127.5 kilos.
He actually adjusted it because it was initially 130, so looks like his coach Josh probably in conjunction with himself probably just said, you know what, well, let's just make sure that we get this lift as opposed to...
Are you allowed to change third attempt bench presses? That might have been a technical error.
I believe you can, as long as it's a few minutes before, but I'm going to pretend like I don't know. If I'm wrong, of course. Maybe I saw incorrectly. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Mustafa, 137.5 kilos. Made 132.5 look pretty easy.
It's too heavy.
Unfortunately not there. It was a fair attempt selection though, so
Yeah.
pretty
Is what
reasonable.
it is.
Yeah.
Jason Pan, another 10 kilo jump. What are these crazy attempts?
And this would be 5 kilos over his best bench, which he did only 4 months ago.
This is aggressive.
3 months, 3 and a bit. Yeah. This will be interesting. Be watching with great interest.
it's gone down.
Yeah, I'd say overly aggressive attempt selection there.
Spotters are getting a workout this session.
Doing a fantastic job as well, as per usual. Up next, Dylan, 145 kilos. Best ever comp bench was 140, so 5 kilo increase here. He's also taking a 5 kilo increase from his second attempt. What's been, as you know, we wait for this bench press to start, what's been your one favorite thing that's happened today, Billy?
Ooh, just so happy to see everything running smoothly. I think you've said this before. It's like, you know, there's obviously like a lot of volunteers that make this happen, but like I'm quite a reflective person, Fran, as you know.
Yeah.
It's like just like to take a moment to like stand back and like look out at the room and go like, look at everything that's happening. Like it takes so much manpower to run an event like this. Like, think about it. We've got 5 to 6 spotters on the platform at all times.
Yeah.
We've got 3 referees. We've got 2 people on the scoring desk. We've got a photographer. We've got a videographer. We've got a live stream guy. We've got 2 commentators. We've got an announcer. We've got people manning the front door. We've got coaches and lifters. Like, it takes so much manpower to make this happen. And every comp, we just confidently say, we'll find the people.
Yeah.
Because, like, the community's just loaded with people that are willing to do the work because they just care.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just that. It's like standing back and, like, just going like, whatever kind of chaos happens out of the day, it's like there's the people here that will make sure that it happens. And I just think it's like, yeah, the beauty of community.
Yeah, and so, like the beautiful thing, like you look at the platform at the moment, you have, you know, Colin who's come down from Brisbane. You've got Stoff, Chris White here, coming from Ballarat. And, you know, girls here, Spotting and Loathing, I think they're from
Sydney.
Paragon, Sydney.
Yeah.
Like this is a far travel. This is a far distance for them to come down
and
give
spend
a
their
couple
weekend
hours.
doing this.
Yeah,
You know?
amazing.
And like whether they've come down just to help or they're actually working and then this is their time off. Like like Colin right now, he was coaching this morning.
Yeah.
This would have been his lunch break.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's like, yeah, that's my favourite part of the weekend.
Yeah.
All right, this is our final bench press of session 2 of Saturday. Francesco, 155 kilos. I don't know about you, Fran, but I've never held this kind of weight over my face.
Same.
Never have, never will.
That is
nice.
a perfect selection
That's
there.
a beautiful bench press.
I think he's happy.
3
Coach
white
happy.
lights, great lift.
Refs are happy.
He's having a good day.
Wow.
All right, that concludes the bench press portion of Saturday session 2. We've got a 10-minute break now before we'll come back for deadlifts. So this is a 2-day competition. We're at the 2024 Open and Masters Nationals for USAPL Australia. Got a monster weekend. We've got 3 sessions Saturday, 3 sessions Sunday. You're watching session 2, which is our 56 kilo women Open and Masters. We've got our 75 kilo men Opens and Masters and our Masters 90 kilo men. Take a short break. We'll be back in a bit less than 10 minutes for the deadlift component of session 2.
See you all
Thanks, Fran.
shortly. Thank you very much, Billy.
was wondering how you were seeing it.
I mean, sometimes we can see it here, but we have options. Hey, Mikey, you want to start?
All right, we are back for the deadlift portion for our second session of the day. We've got in this first group the 56 kilo women competing in both the open age category as well as the masters category. We've got a pretty exciting session ahead, so our deadlifts are going to be the deciders of the day. We've got a pretty close battle between some of these top women. So very excited to see how this plays out. We've got some big deadlifts coming up. If we look at Lena Tran here at the bottom of the score sheet, opening up her deadlift at 147.5 kilos. It's up around 2.5 times body weight as an opening attempt deadlift. So we've got a bit to come here. First come off the rank, we've got Joanne. Joanne's competing in the Masters 2 category, 50-59. It's 95 kilos we've just seen go up nice and smoothly. Again, competing in the 56 kilo weight class. So the deadlift, in terms of what we're looking for from the refereeing and the adjudicating of the lift, it's probably the most simple of the lifts. The deadlift is picking it up and standing up with it. From the referees, we only have one command, which is a down command. So the lifters will hear bar is loaded. The lifter is able to come out and commence the lift basically when they're ready. They've got 1 minute to attempt to commence the lift, rather. Once they stand up with it, like Catherine has here, she'll receive a down command from the referee, which indicates the referee is satisfied with the final or the completion of the lift, which would need to be knees locked, hips extended, and shoulders back at the top of the lift. Calls for disqualification in the deadlift would be things like not satisfactorily completing the lift. So whether you fail on strength, you actually don't lock it out at the top. Perhaps in your, like what you've assumed to be the lockout position, you've got maybe soft shoulders, your shoulders are a bit forward, your knees or your hips aren't locked, would indicate that the lift is not completed. Same with the squat and the bench press. The bar needs to ascend in one fluid motion. It can't start coming up, then come back down and come back up again. It does need to ascend in one smooth movement. What we'll commonly see is what we call hitching, but it's a bit of a colloquial term. But the correct term is supporting the bar on the thighs. So once the bar kind of passes up the knee, what you can see sometimes the lifter kind of like, hitches it or kind of jiggles the bar up their leg using their thighs. So not allowed to do that. You can't be supported by your thighs. What have I missed, Fran?
Also, bar needs to be, can't be pushed down. So if the bar is on the way down, it's pushed down by the lifter, that will be deemed a no lift.
Yeah, so no slamming the bar into the ground, no dropping the bar. You need to return the bar to the ground yourself. If you let go of the bar from above floor height, no good. And of course, you need to wait for the down command from the referees. If you drop the bar or you lose control of the bar before you receive that down command, no lift. So at its core, pretty simple. Stand up with the bar, wait until you're told to put it down, then put it back down. That's the deadlift. We just like to complicate things.
Yeah, I was going to say, pick it up, put it back down. How hard is it?
Cool. So that's what we're looking for. Just had Rachel Rodriguez, 112.5 kilos for her opening attempt deadlift. Looked good. 3 white lights. All right, big jump up now to Annalise Carter, opening up with 135 kilos. So Annalise has been a really, really impressive lifter today. I have decided that maybe she's newer to the sport and she is just improving at like rocket speed. Her attempts today, she's gone 6 from 6, finished her squats at 135, her bench at 65, both monstrous at this body weight. And they were both extraordinarily easy. So here's 135 kilos. And again, like, what even is that as an opener? That was so easy. Like, she is strong and I think she's like just getting started.
I had a look at her open powerlifting. She's going off open powerlifting. She's 24,
okay.
So maybe 24, 25. So still fairly young.
How many comps has she done?
I think 3.
Okay, she's like just getting started, right? Like I think she's like got a future ahead of her in this because she's just blowing these weights up. All right, Melanie Spencer coming out for 135 as well.
3 comps, and that was last year.
Okay.
She actually competed at Nationals last year as well.
Cool. What did she put up last year?
117.5 squat, 60 bench, 147.5
yeah,
dead.
wow.
So absolutely
she's
smoked.
improving.
Yeah.
Improving super quick.
Yeah.
3 white lights there for Melanie Spencer. Next out, we've got Angela Dong, also coming out for 135 kilos. Angela's had a funny day. She's failed both of her second attempts on strength and then come out and got them on her third, which you just don't, like, you do see it, but like to see it for 2 lifts in the same comp, not so common. She's done really, really well to recover from those and smoke them on her third. It was a nice opener.
Pretty solid there.
Yeah, little slow down at lockout. It's pretty normal in a conventional deadlift, but good. You will see across this session there are 2 different stances that a lifter can assume in the deadlift. The conventional stance, which is what we just saw, which is the feet underneath the hips or the feet inside their hands. The other stance that a lifter might choose to take is what we call a sumo stance, which is where their feet are actually wider. Look at this, Lena Tran. Thank you so much for modelling this for me. Feet outside the hands, and the feet can be basically as wide as the bar permits. Obviously, you don't want to have your toes underneath the plates, but you can have your feet outside of your hands. Why would a lifter do this? Different lifters are stronger in different positions. Some people will be stronger in a conventional stance, some will be stronger in a sumo stance. Sumo stance can often favour people that have like really big strong quads. It can help them drive in that position. Conventional stance can often favour people with sort of like long arms, long legs. Yeah, just personal preference. You're allowed to take either. There's no bonus points for taking conventional. There's no deductions for taking sumo. You're allowed to do either.
Yeah, and just to, cause a bit of debate online here, would you say sumo or conventional is the superior lift, Billy?
I'm not doing this, Fran. They're both, we love them both equally.
I say sumo, some people say sumo is cheating. It isn't. And I say that as going from a conventional lifter to a sumo lifter, and my conventional is still better than my sumo, in which I was probably nearly 15 kilos lighter at that time. So
I didn't know that about you.
there you go. It isn't cheating, because otherwise I would.
Otherwise, I'd be less bad at it.
I'd be stronger. So joke's on you, whoever says sumo is cheating. It's not. It is more superior though, but I digress.
It's like we view the deadlift as like kind of like just this absolute strength movement, right? It's like pick a bar up off the floor and do it in whatever position is strongest.
It's the one that causes the most arguments online. So
Yeah.
There you go.
Reddit's a dark place. All right, stay off Reddit. All right, Monica. 155 kilos for an opening attempt. This is monstrous. Bear in mind, she's 53 kilos body weight.
Nearly triple body weight opening attempt.
Oh, it's a heavy opener. I don't know if that's locked.
I think hips a bit soft on that one, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think hips are locked. I don't think shoulders are back. That's harder than you want to see an opener. Yeah.
Yep. Hips is core,
All right.
I believe.
So that looks...
Shoulders as well. Knees and toes.
Yeah. All right. So we need to see the completion of the lift needs to have your hips completely extended and your shoulders back. I don't think we saw either of those things on that lift. So this is not a nice position to be in. So in order to register a successful total in the competition, you need to satisfactorily complete at least 1 squat, 1 bench press, and 1 deadlift. She can obviously come out again for a second and a third attempt and reattempt that weight. However, when it is that hard on your first attempt, it does have you a little bit worried. She won't be feeling great about that.
Yeah. And it just goes to show, we can look at numbers, predictions, previous comps, etc. But on the day, there's so many different factors. In the first session, I was doing the weigh-ins, and one of the lifters, he actually missed weight by over 250 grams. So he had to go lose a bit of that weight, came back, because it's 1.5 hours for weigh-in, so he came back at 8:30, or just before that, weighed in 100 grams lighter, like under the weight limit. And that obviously throws you off mentally, throws you off physically, because you're exerting a bit more energy than you expected.
So depleted with so little time to weigh in. We only have 2-hour weigh-ins for our competition, so it's very little time to refuel, especially if you leave it to half an hour before lifting starts. You've got to start warming up and your body is running on empty.
Yeah. A lot of factors, especially at a national level. Pressure's on. People might miss lifts for whatever reason. Even just like, the equipment could be very different to what you're used to, and that might throw people off as well. So many factors, and I think that's what makes a national event so interesting and so captivating as well, because
sport at its core, right? It's like you might have a cracking nominated total. You might have the fastest 100-meter sprint time, but you got to do it on the day.
Yeah, exactly right.
I don't care what you did at home. I don't care what you did at training. I don't care what you did in the local meet 3 months ago. It's like you got to put it together on the day.
Yeah. Saw that well and truly at TSF Team Champs this year.
What story are you thinking of?
Oh, so many. I will not name names or teams in which, if I speak, I will get in big trouble.
It's good for the sport.
It
Spill.
is great. No.
More goss, more controversy.
Wow. Another easy attempt there for Winnie.
That was a cracking second.
Looked almost the same as the first attempt.
Yeah,
So
love that. I'll be stoked.
very good there.
All right. Rachel Rodriguez coming out now for 122.5 kilos for her second attempt. And Rachel's had a pretty bumpy day. She's only 4 from 7.
7, yeah.
Yeah, bumpy. She got 2 squats on the board, only 1 bench press. It's a hard day. And to come out here, ground yourself and fire up your deadlifts, it takes a lot of strength. That was good.
Oh, good.
Nice, 3 white lights. Have you ever heard of peak end bias, Fran?
Sorry?
Have you ever heard of peak end bias?
Peak and bias. No, I haven't.
I'm going to like butcher this, but basically it's like when we think of a memory, we think of like the peak of it, the peak of the experience, and then the end of the experience.
Yeah.
So, if you want someone to have a good day of powerlifting and they've had a bad one, the best thing you can do to salvage the memory is give them a cracking ending. So if you've had a shocking squat campaign, shocking bench press, but you can round it out with a really good deadlift, you might feel really good about the day. So as a coach, it's like if someone's had a shocking day, it's like I just want to make sure that their deadlifts go really, really well, and I'll do whatever I can to make that happen. Because then your memory of the day is like, oh, look, it was a bit of a shocker, but my deadlifts were pretty good.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, that was nice. 145 there for Melanie. That was explosive.
Great day for Melanie as well. I reckon
Yeah.
well, that's now 8 for 8.
Oh, God, that
Thank
feels
you.
good. That sea of green.
I love it. I love it.
Have you ever gone 9 from 9?
Yeah. My first couple
Don't
of
look at
times.
me like it's obvious like everyone does that, because they don't.
Well, I was actually coached by the wonderful coaches down at TSF, and hence why 9 for 9 was a very important thing.
Good one, Fran.
Until I started missing my third attempt squats. We don't talk about that.
I'm working on that.
But I made my last comp was 9 for 9 as well. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Feels good.
Yeah. I was thinking, was it 9 for 9 last comp? Yeah, it was. I was 9 for 9.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. I think I just put additional pressure on myself not to fail the lift as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I think I'd do really well at.
All right, Annalise Carter, 147.5. She's jumped up 12.5 from the rocket speed opener.
And a rocket speed second opener. That is amazing.
Just not slowing down, eh?
Wow. 12.5 kilo jump as well. Just smoked it. I reckon she'll Annalise 160.
Yeah,
now.
amazing. Okay, Onika coming out now for 155. This is like a real pressure cooker situation here. So,
Reattempting.
yeah, failed 155 on strength. It wasn't on strength, basically. It was super, super hard. Didn't quite lock her hips out. Didn't quite get her shoulders back. And I think we can clearly say it was strength that stopped her from achieving that final position. So this is going to have to be really, really good to actually keep her in this competition at all, because she's on the verge of totally bombing. Oh, I hope she gets this. Come on.
No, I think it's a bit too much there. Yeah, it's not looking good.
Oh, that's hard.
And the difficulty here is, Monika's failed her first attempt. She's failed her second attempt. She can't go down as well. She can only reattempt or go up. And she's gonna try reattempt that one. She needs to make it stay in the competition.
She's got a lot to fight for.
Yeah, that's to stay on potentially podium.
Yeah.
She misses that opens the window. It actually opens the window for Annalise.
Okay. So she's fighting to stay in the competition and take third on the podium. Here we've got Lena Tran, 157.5. Stunning.
Wow.
Wow. So Lena Tran is currently in the lead. Closely followed by Maria, who's going to come out for 160. So as you can see, Maria's got the stronger deadlift, but Lena Tran had 5.5 kilo lead on Maria coming into the deadlift section. What that means is that Maria is going to need to deadlift 7.5 more than Lena in order to take the gold medal position. I hope I done that maths right.
Yeah, and Lena's a lower lot number and also a lower body weight as well. So Maria actually has to push a lot heavier in order to match. Even if Maria matches Lena, Lena will win.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
All right.
Made the lift, but there's not much room left now.
I reckon Lena's got this wrapped up, dare I say. Lena's put in 165 kilos for a final deadlift.
I think that's great.
In order for Maria to take the win, she would need to take 172.5 kilos. I think that's a stretch.
Yeah. And knowing Didier, coaches down at MSC, I think it's a very safe approach. Make sure that you make the lift. Whilst I think Lena's definitely got, probably 7.5, maybe even 10 kilos to push it. I think taking a 5 kilo jump is probably the safest bet.
Those missed bench presses by Maria were really costly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really, really costly.
We've got Joanne now rounding out the deadlifts for today, or for herself.
Wow, really nice.
Great day of lifting from Joanne.
Is that going to be 9 from 9 for Joanne?
Love wonderful sportsmanship.
Total
as well.
veteran. That is 3 white lights, good lift for Joanne, and a 9 from 9 day. And I think that will take her the gold medal in that Masters 56 category.
Yeah, well, yeah, she's up against no one else, so yeah.
Thanks, Fran. All right, Catherine coming out now for 112.5 kilos. Also, is that a perfect 8 from 8 day? This would make it 9 from 9 if she gets this one. Wow.
That was a good deadlift.
Really nice
Good
deadlift.
attempt. And I think she'll get it, 9 from 9.
Yeah, there it is, 9 from 9. Beautiful.
Well done, Catherine.
All right, now we can get into the messy red section of the board. Now, Winnie's had a cracker too. She's gone 7 from 8 so far, just missing 1 bench press. And man, like when you leave 2.5 kilos on a bench, it's like, it's just the nature of the beast, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, she's coming out for 125 kilos. Yeah, Winnie's had an awesome day, coached by Vinning out of Elemental Strength Society.
So just to go in terms of look further down for our fight for first place, Lena at the moment in the lead, 365.5. Maria is on 362.5. So
Wow.
if Maria wants to win, she needs to go for a 170 kilo deadlift, which is a 10 kilo jump from her second attempt.
That's too much of a stretch.
I think it's too much.
That's too
yeah.
much. I can't see on the scoreboard. What is she nominated for her final?
165.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And Lena's got 165, in which
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
think Lena needs to push any further.
No.
Just secure it. Unfortunately.
Just laughs at herself. It's not going anywhere.
The additional gravity down at Moorabbin compared to Deer Park has unfortunately not worked for Winnie there.
All right. Rachel Rodriguez, 127.5 kilos. She's jumped up 5 kilos from her second attempt. Wow. Did she get it? Oh. That was a tremendous fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Left it all out there. That was unreal.
Got Angela now, 150 kilos.
These are heavy attempts, man. 150 kilos at 56 body weight. Like, this is like 6 lifters coming out for over 150.
Yeah, nearly triple body weight, which is huge.
Tremendous. Right, Angela, 150 kilos from Sim Strength. She's gone 2 from 2 on a deadlift so far. Slightly bumpy day, but has put together a really, really solid total.
Yeah, and the best ever deadlift is actually 142.5.
Oof.
So
It's a good day.
big PB if so.
Let's go, Angela. Oh, nice. Coach is happy. He's giving a little nod, like, yeah, I reckon you're good, mate.
3 white lights. Well
3
done.
white lights, good lift.
Exactly what you were talking about as well. You know, some bumps along the way, but great finish
Yeah.
to a day.
Great finish. All right, we are coming up to Onika.
We've
Are
got
we?
Melanie first.
Oh,
Yeah.
what did I just look at? We've got Melanie. 152.5 kilos.
Great day.
Also on 8 from 8. She's had an absolute stellar day. She's currently in 5th position. This will keep her in 5th position. So like, this is a big total for a 5th place.
Beltless conventional too.
Commendable. Sumo's not cheating, but this is bonus points.
Yeah, this is just big flex.
Wow.
And she spoke. Oh, and the tempo on the way down. Just way to rub it in. Amazing deadlift.
Great
Amazing
day.
day for
Yeah.
Melanie.
She's stoked.
Amazing.
Little jump up and down.
All right. This
All right.
to stay in the fight. This is basically for 3rd place. Okay. So
Right.
this is 3rd place if Onika makes it. If she doesn't make it,
She's out of the competition.
well, she's actually out. She won't make 3rd place even if she makes this lift because
Right.
Annalise is on 347.5. This will
All
give
right.
her 345.
All right. So this is either 4th place or bomb.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Let's go,
Such a
Onika.
corner you don't want to be pushed into. Come on. Let's go. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, my God. Oh, that's devastating.
That hurts.
Oh, that's devastating. You don't even need to see the lights, do you? Like, you just know. 3 reds, no lift. That's a bummer. Like, she's locked it out. Like, no, like, close to locked it out 2 times, but that bit of downward movement, not quite knees, not quite hips, just so close.
That hurts. That
It's like,
hurts.
it's just a temp selection there, isn't it? Like, if she had opened at 150, she might have failed a 2nd and a 3rd, but she would have at least gotten on the board.
Yeah, and like her prediction, like she's got the highest dots
It's
amongst
a
everyone
rough
too.
day. All right. Annalise Carter, 157.5 kilos. Is it going to slow down at all? Probably not. Let's see.
I'm not a betting man, but I'll say yes.
Wow.
As in not slow down, sorry.
Wow.
I fixed that up.
Epic.
Not slow down. That was... I said 160. Should have just gone 160. Just absolutely send it. 3rd place
Oh,
for
man.
Annalise.
Epic.
9 for 9. And she's made every single lift look easy.
Yeah.
She is one to watch out for in the future.
That's her bronze medal position.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, tremendous. Bronze medal position at like RPE 6 to 7 across the board, right? Like, that's just so cool. I'm so excited to see what she does next. All right. Lena Tran, currently in gold. Looking to have secured that already. But this is just really like we need to lock that in and just
Yeah.
make sure it's fully out of reach by
Yeah, I
Maria.
was
Like,
just
we just
about
want to
to
make sure Maria, you don't want to open the door for Maria.
No. You gotta
She's
make
almost got this wrapped up, but she does need this, I think.
Yeah.
Let's go, Lena.
And
Wow.
I think that's it. I think that secures
I think that's wrapped
first
up.
place for Lena.
There it is. 3
There it
white
is.
lights.
Yeah, I think it's out of reach for Maria. So at the moment, Maria is Lena's just hit 373 total. Maria's on
Monster.
362.5. If Maria hits this weight, 367.5. Surprised that the coach hasn't gone, just, you know what, screw it, send it. Maria got 2nd place. Might as well just go for it. But I guess, like, seeing how 2nd attempt went,
Yeah.
I think it might be a bit.
Again, it's one of those ones. It's like we could give it a send and just like shoot for the moon, or
Yeah.
it's like let's just finish the day on a high note. That bench would have been a bit like that's a salty bench
Yeah.
session. You know, that's hard to
Yeah.
stomach. So maybe get a PB. What? Yeah, you know, like just finish the day on a good note. Let's go, Maria. Nah, not to be. There was no more in it.
But, you know, still 2nd place. 2nd place in Australia
Yeah.
is a fantastic effort. So, like, let's not, you know, I'm not going to downplay that. And, you know, well done, Maria, for, you know, realistically, a great day. Great day of lifting.
Fantastic.
Especially coming down
And
from Sydney.
congratulations to Lena Tran, gold medal at the USAPL Australia Open and Masters Nationals 2024. Let's go!
New 56 kilo women's champion. And in the 60 kilogram weight class in the next session, we might see another lifter from MSCB national champion as well.
Ooh, who are we looking at?
Constance.
Ah, she's gone down to
Deuce.
60.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Man.
Sorry, everyone who's now competing at 60 kilos with Deuce in it.
Oh, man. All right. But before we get ahead of ourselves, we're not watching Constance. We are watching this 75 kilo men and the 90 kilo masters men. We're first up with Leandro, 175 kilos.
Easy, okay.
Looking like 2 kilos, super fast, very good. All right, smoke show. All right, next up, Rich Weimar, 185 kilo opening attempt. Rich took home the bench record.
Yep.
Masters 2 category.
115.5.
That was one of his big goals for the day, so that's a nice one to chip off.
Great
Beautiful
deadlift.
opening deadlift.
Really good deadlift there from Richard. I feel like he's one of those lifters that's just improved
Massively.
quite a lot. Yeah, over
Yeah.
time in terms of technique as well.
Yeah.
Like I remember his first comp was a bit shaky, then moved on to started getting coached on TSF, and things started to look better. And today looked amazing.
Yeah, he looks really polished now.
Yeah.
It's come a long way.
We've got Jerome up next with 190. He hit 130 for his second attempt bench and then decided to skip out. So a bit of a strategy just to conserve a bit of energy for deads.
Oh, I missed that actually.
Pretty easy opener there from Jerome.
It's a funny strategy there to go from 120, miss it, jump up to 130 and then not take a third. Like,
Yeah.
that was an aggressive jump after a fail. Interesting. All right, next up, we've got Mustafa coming out for 200 kilos.
I always find it interesting in terms of some of the lifters as well, coming out with or without talc. So some lifters will come out with talcum powder, baby powder, in other words, on their legs, just so that way the bar glides a bit more smoothly on the way up. Likewise, you can also have chalk in your hands as well. And I think it's just like an additional thing, just to make it a bit easier. The 1% in terms of lifting, whatever advantage you can take, I'd say, take it.
Yeah, I would agree.
Easy opener there from Mustafa. He's taking his time, looking around.
Look relaxed as out there, right? He gave a little thumbs up to someone in the crowd.
Yeah.
Like,
Enjoying the sights. Of,
enjoying your hobby. It's nice. Yeah, good on him. Hope you're having a great day, Mustafa. Hope you're having fun out there. All right, next up we have Jason Pan coming up 200 kilos.
You'll also see for the deadlifts, some lifters elect to, I don't know how else to put this politely, but to not wear a shirt, a t-shirt. It is allowed in USAPL, males and females as well. Females just need a sports bra underneath. But yeah, you can basically elect to go shirtless.
There is absolutely no performance benefit to this.
No, there is.
It is
It
strictly clout.
No, it's purely performance benefit. I will argue to the death for that, Billy. It's purely for performance. You've got a bit more breathability in the arms, in the armpit area. Look good, feel good. Sun's out, guns out, etc., etc. It's performance benefit.
That is the most nonsense thing I've ever heard. The truth of the matter is that when you hold 215 kilos in your hands, your shoulders and your arms just look awesome.
That's why I always deadlift without a t-shirt on.
Right, 215 there for Dylan. Super fast. Taking the performance enhancing route of no shirt to deadlift.
It's not psychological either. It's purely factual.
Look good, feel good.
Yeah. But
It's enough performance benefit for me.
it's evidence-based, you know? It's proven by the School of Francis.
All right. Let's go, Wayne. 217.5 kilos. Let's have a look at the records in the deadlift because I reckon Wayne's going to take some of those today too. All right, so he currently has the record at 222.5 kilos.
I will get the record.
So there was an opener at 217.5, so I reckon we might take that record on the second attempt. What do you reckon?
Yeah, 227.5.
Cracking day.
Great day for Wayne.
He's on, what's that, 7 from 7 so far. He's already taken records in both the squat, the squat and the bench press.
Yeah, and on track for the deadlift
And
as well.
he'll take it for the deadlift too. God.
We love Wayne.
The perfect day exists, and it might be Wayne's. Imagine that. 9 from 9, records across the board, gold.
Yeah, that'll be a total record too. Yeah, just everywhere. Sushan up next with 220 kilos. You also see some grips or different,
Whoa, that was fast.
so quick. We'll also see some grips, different grips being used here. So Sushan, for example, was kind of like what you say, over under mixed grip. Some lifters will also choose to do the more painful route, the hook grip. Bit of a benefit there, you know, in terms of just not lopsided, so to speak. So, yeah, a few grips being used for deadlift.
Nice to fit. Oh, was that a bit of a drop?
I think so. I'll call it right now.
That was a good lift from Chris
Ooh.
Trudgett, but he did get 3 white lights. Okay, that looked like he lost a bit of control of the bar, maybe dropped it a little at the bottom. I would say if anyone is out the back watching him, they might give him a little light. Just be careful of that, mate.
Yeah.
That was pretty close. You got pretty lucky.
Yeah, I would have personally given
Yeah.
a red. That was not controlled
Yeah.
on that drop, but I'm not a ref.
But
Today.
you're not in that seat today, so...
Back seat. If there ever was one. Daniel up next.
I'm a chronic backseat ref.
Wow.
Wow. It's kind of superhuman for 220 to move like that, eh?
Yeah.
So, I think about this often, right? It's like our standard of like what strong is pretty skewed.
Yes.
It's like, it's easy to think, I'm not a very strong person because in this room, I'm not a very strong person. But we're in a room full of people that are in the top like 0.1% of strongest people on the planet, right?
Yeah.
It's not normal for 220 to come off the ground like that.
No.
Like, that is so... And then this guy's got 15 kilos more than that on his bar, you know? But it's like, it's just superhuman. Anyway, with that in mind, Francesco, 235 kilos, our very clear favourite in the 75 kilo class. So
Just needs to make this weight.
yeah, if he just gets this off the ground, it's like he's pretty well locked in the day. So he's just going to want to secure this in. We don't want to see another tragedy of no successful deadlift attempt and off the board. So just needs to lock this in, and he basically takes the gold home.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty conservative opening attempt as well.
There we go.
Like I said.
I'm going to call it gold medal for Francesco. No one can catch him. Yeah, epic. Like, just so strong.
Great day.
So his best deadlift is 250. I wouldn't be surprised if he chipped that opening at 235 like that. He should beat that. I think we said his best squat's 270, his best deadlift's 250. Looking at that, I think he should take that.
So, Billy, I'm just going to quickly check. His best ever deadlift, 250.
Like, that was a good open at 235.
That was way too easy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So surely he'll blow that out.
Yeah. And Daniel's best ever deadlift was a 282.5.
Okay.
So I think Daniel, I'm going to take that. Daniel is coming back from a potential injury. He has weighed in quite light as well. So probably, I think he was in the 75 kilo weight class last year. So yeah, just a bit, you know, probably coming back from injury, just want to secure lifts, really.
Cool. All right, Leandro, 192.5, top of the group. That's good.
Up next, we've got Richard. attempting 200 kilos, 15 kilo jump.
Lovely. Really nice.
Yeah, it was a good call for second attempt there. 3 white lights, good lift. Of course, Jeremy Borzillo handling Richard today. Man that you'd run through a wall for.
Man, you'd run through a wall for. Protect him at all costs.
It's the face of powerlifting Australia.
All right, Jerome Ortiz, 202.5 kilos, up 12.5 from his opener.
This is a 20 kilo PB, comp PB actually, for Jerome.
How much?
20.
Epic.
Easy. 3 white lights. Got Mustafa coming out, 215. Was very relaxed before in his first attempt. Thumbs up, looking around, saying hi to everyone.
Just having a good day out.
Yeah.
Good day out at RSAA Park.
One thing we, just probably due to the weather, you won't see as much today is just, I guess, like bar slipping in the hands. We saw that quite a lot at TSF Team Champs due to the extreme forecast of 40 plus degree days in a row. Thank you, Melbourne.
Which basically makes for 50 plus inside a warehouse gym.
Yeah. And the advantage in terms of, or just like chalking, yeah, I know, like I've spoken to Josh Liu, one of the coaches at TSF, about this previously, good lift for Mustafa, was come a little hack using liquid chalk and
Liquid
then chalk.
and then dry chalk.
Dry chalk,
Trade
yeah.
secrets.
Trade secret. $15 for that trade secret, thank you very much. Yeah, so.
But yeah, you're right. It's like, for a lot of lifters, grip is a huge issue in the deadlift. You know, sometimes it's like you can have super strong glutes, super strong hamstrings, super strong back, but your hands have a limit, right?
Yeah.
We obviously use chalk. We try different grips to help with that. But certainly if it's a stinking hot day and you are sweaty, like the odds are just stacked against you in terms of holding onto that bar. Today's pretty mild. It's nice weather here in Melbourne. Beautiful. I love these days in Melbourne. Spring, sunny, the sun's warm on your skin, but if you're in the shade, you're like nice and cool.
It's perfect. And
yeah, beautiful powerlifting day.
Actually a lot colder in here than outside as well.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah, which is what you want, like if you're everyone bar Colin and Panthers team.
Yeah.
It's probably Antarctic weather for them. No, great weather for lifting. Great weekend so far for lifting. Our second session of the
Panthers team's too strong anyway. I quite like it being cold and then being out of their climate because it just holds them back a little bit. Just cut their legs out a little bit. They're too strong.
That sounds a bit petty.
No, mate, it's just
TSF Team Champs.
No, not petty. Just like, you know, you've got to keep your eye on the ops. Don't like giving away prize money. All right, it's 2:30 from Dylan. I'm waiting for the referee's call. Pretty good.
I think it was good. Yeah, that we
There we go, good lift.
Yep.
All right, Sushant, 232.5 kilos. He's jumped up to 12.5. Opener was great.
And his best ever was 217.5 earlier in the year, February. So
do you know how long Sushant's been lifting?
No, I don't actually, unfortunately.
Just like making fast progress, eh?
Yeah.
Like, would kind of suggest maybe newer to powerlifting, maybe history in bodybuilding.
Yeah. Yeah, given that his squat numbers and bench numbers are slightly above his earlier comp numbers, obviously deadlift has gone up. So yeah, I'll probably say maybe bodybuilding background there.
Yeah.
Deadlift's just starting to find its groove. 3 white lights, good lift there for Sushant.
Great. Chris Trudgett coming out now in the Masters 1, which is 40 to 49. 90 kilo class, coming out for 232.5 kilos. He's had a really good day. He just missed one squat, but again, he left 2.5 kilos on the platform. Like it's nothing.
Much.
It's just like so negligible.
Yeah.
So he's had a near perfect day so far. He's having a blast too. I love someone that's like animated on the platform. You know, their emotions just like bumble out. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that was so good, and I'm stoked. You know,
Yeah.
feels good. Oh, excellent. Yeah, super nice. Yeah, that was fantastic.
That was really good. Three white lights there. Great sportsmanship
Super
from
nice.
Wayne as well, giving him a bit of a handshake.
All right,
Well
Wayne
done.
coming out for a record now, 235.5 kilos.
His best ever deadlift was 235, but I don't think that was the record.
The record's at
unofficial record.
222.5.
Yeah,
So this is just like,
the official
like
record.
what? He could break the record with a 5 kilo jump, but he's like, oh, I'll just load up 13 kilos more. I'm good for it. Again, 60 to 69, 235 kilos.
Yeah,
Francis.
crazy.
Like,
Crazy stuff. And I love seeing these like chips on the bar as well.
Yeah.
You know, your, I guess your 250 gram or 500 gram plates.
go
Just
Wayne.
Bigger flex in terms of a record because you know, can set that as a record.
Oh
and
my
makes
God.
it easy. Wayne. Wayne's world. We're all living in it.
Wow.
Great stuff.
Getting coached by his son. Super beautiful. That is
It's
insane.
the best. Just unbelievable.
13 kilos over the record,
Wow.
of which is his own.
Yeah. Just push it further. I'm speechless. That is so good to see.
Man.
Beautiful. Beautiful stuff there from
Beautiful
Wayne.
stuff. All right. Daniel from Sim Strength coming out for 30 kilo jump from his opener to his second. That opener was like rocket speed.
Yeah.
That was the one that I was like, this isn't a
Yeah.
human thing to do.
I reckon it's going to be the same thing. He's a very good deadlifter. He's always been a very good deadlifter.
What's his best?
282.5 kilos.
282.5. Okay.
I think that was, you know, at a heavier weight,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
seeing how first attempt went, yeah. would
He's
not
got
be
those
surprised.
sumo deadlift quads, eh?
Yeah.
Like
And
when you
long
said,
arms.
yeah,
It's
built for it.
Slightly stickier, but
Still remarkable.
250 moving like that, 30 kilo
And again,
jump.
he's
easy.
competing in the 75 kilo weight class, but he's almost a whole weight class down. He's weighed in at 67.7.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just about
So
to
he's
say.
like 7 kilos lighter than his opponents. Than the ops.
Amazing, amazing. And speaking of amazing,
Amazing.
Francesco. Great name, great lifting, 255 kilos, 5 kilo comp PB here as well if he gets this.
Wow. Very nice. Very satisfying.
Perfect second attempt there.
Cool. 255. Locked in. Okay, that rounds out the second round of deadlifts for these guys. So, final deadlifts of session 2. Third attempts. This is the final lift of the day for each of these lifters.
What time's the third session starting, Billy?
I don't know. I just have been kind of anxiously looking at that.
4:30?
Yeah, I reckon we're ahead of schedule.
We are ahead of schedule, and that's thanks to our wonderful
Sporting
you know,
loading team.
referees and spotting and loading team as well, and tech desk, everyone, volunteers, just doing a fantastic job.
Doing
Back
a
in the day,
fantastic
run
job.
smoothly and fast as well.
Yeah,
Because it
absolutely.
relies on everyone. It's not just one person or one team. It's everyone making the day run smoothly. So thank you. Thank you very much, Billy, as well for jumping on the microphone. I know this is it's not your first rodeo here.
It's not. Thank you for joining me, Francis. It's an honour to be on here with you.
Ah,
Just talking absolute rubbish for everyone at home to listen.
yeah, instead of at the gym. Can't do that anymore. I'm sorry.
Can you not? Leandro, 200 kilos. I wasn't sure that lookout. Was that good? Yeah, 3 white lights. All right.
Perfect day. Perfect day for Leandro. That's
Soaked.
9 for 9. Great. Great
Yeah.
work.
Excellent.
Doesn't need to drive far back home as well, I'm assuming, if he's training at Hustler, which
Yeah.
is really good too.
We love that. All right, Rich Weimar coming up with 205 kilos. Final lift of the day.
Representing Shred Fortress.
Let's go, Rich.
Sponsors for the weekend. Wearing A7 socks, which is also one of the sponsors for the weekend too.
Love that. Team support. Let's go, Rich. Pull it in, pull it in, pull it in.
Bit too heavy there from Rich. Good effort though.
It's a good
Very
day.
good effort. Yeah, great day.
It's only a 5 kilo jump from his second. There wasn't so much left out on there. Good day. All right, Jerome, 210 kilos. He's jumped up 7.5 from his second. He's currently in 6th place. This will just lock him into 6. No positional change here. Lovely deadlift.
Good.
Super lovely.
Great third attempt there.
3 from 3 on
Jerome.
his squats, 1 from 3 on his bench, and 3 from 3 on his deadlift.
Not too bad of a day.
It's not a bad day. All right, Mustafa has just been having the time of his life out there. He's coming up with 222.5 for his final attempt.
Blinded by the ammonia as well. I don't know why he's looking back trying to see the time. I wouldn't be able to see it with that much ammonia.
So that was some pretty good attempt selection.
Yeah, that was right on the
There
money
was
there.
much left there.
Tempered it on the way down as well, just to make sure. 3 white lights, good lift for Mustafa, 7th place. Nationals here. Ooh, hello. Hello, Sushant. So currently in 3rd place, attempting 240, makes this lift, he'll move into 2nd place. So this puts the pressure on.
I hadn't realised he was so close to the top.
No, neither. And I'm going to quickly refresh
Yeah,
lifting cast.
big
just to see.
subtotal. It's like, yeah, big subtotal.
Yeah, I think that bench really helped him, the 147.5. Walked out too early there. So he's up against, let's see, 580 at the moment. He's actually up against Daniel Sear.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And
So Daniel Zia just got a huge deadlift, but Sushant really has that, yeah, a monster bench press. Pretty close on the squats. Oh, bummer. So that'll leave him in 3rd place. Is there someone there looking
Dylan
to
Regan.
push him off the
Sorry,
podium?
yeah, Dylan Regan, actually. Sorry,
Okay.
I've read it incorrectly.
Oh,
So
yes.
at the moment, Dylan Regan, 585, who is in 2nd place.
Okay.
Sushant is in 3rd, 580, and Daniel Sear is on 572.5. So Daniel's actually in 4th place.
Okay.
We've got Chris, already the champ for the Masters 190 kilogram weight class. I don't know about you, but I
He's
think
had a
he's pretty
great
happy.
day. Yeah, he's had
Yeah.
a fantastic day. He's
Huge
stoked.
lifts.
Yeah, awesome,
240,
awesome
3
day.
white lights, beautiful. All right, so Dylan at the moment is in 2nd place with 585 as his total. Gets this, pushes up to 595. Just adds a bit more pressure on Daniel to send it. also been having a cracker day too. 5 to 10 bench. That opens the window for Daniel.
Yeah,
I'm going to say that right now. I'm going to say that right now.
All right.
Ooh, well, we are in for a treat.
Yeah, it's close now.
Speaking
So
of,
that first place is a big lead, but that sort of second to fourth is like pretty tight.
yeah.
All right, the man, Wayne, 242.5. This is monstrous. So at the start of today, the deadlift record was at 222.5. This is 20 kilos more than that, and it was his own damn record.
Wow.
That is remarkable.
That is amazing, Wayne. Just to push that deadlift even further, that deadlift record, 20 kilos over from when he started today. 20. This man is competing in the 60 to 69 age bracket. I don't know about you, but I haven't increased my deadlift over 20 kilos, and I'm half his age.
Man.
Wow.
That's so impressive.
9 for 9 as well. Pushes his total record further.
Yeah, that's remarkable.
Three records, really. National
Four records.
4 records, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, including the total.
That's so
Great stuff.
remarkable.
Great stuff, Wayne.
All right, Jason Pan,
Ooh.
247.5 kilos.
If he makes this, he moves into 3rd place. So this is a big jump here, 15 kilos. 25, sorry.
Nah, not to be. I respect that.
I like that. I like
You know, like
that.
I didn't come here to take 5th. I may as well try for 3rd.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, like you may as well have a go.
Yeah.
Alas, not to be. Podium remains intact.
And
All
another
right.
person.
Whew. All right, Daniel, currently in 4th position.
So,
He's-
oh, sorry, no, you go first, Billy. Sorry.
Thank you, Fran. Currently in 4th place. Second attempt of 250. This is a jump of 12.5 kilos to 262.5 kilos to take that 2nd place position on the podium. 1st place is locked in. No one's touching that. This will put him in 2nd. He's 2nd. I don't know how this is going to go.
I think he'll make this.
I'm
but
not
I don't
ruling
wanna
him
jinx
out. I think there's a chance. I don't think it's a sure thing.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
If he makes this, he actually equals the total with Dylan on 585.
Okay.
But because he's weighed in a
So
lot
light.
lighter,
Yeah.
he'll
To take
beat
a
him.
2nd place on the podium when he's like almost a whole weight class down. Like he's so much lighter than his competitors.
Yeah.
Oh,
Amazing.
all right, come on.
Oh, I think you called that right.
Not to be.
Oh,
That
great
was
effort, though.
worth having a shot though. Like that wasn't a crazy attempt. That
No.
was totally reasonable.
And he's hit, best ever was 282, so
Yeah, cool.
definitely reasonable there. Great attempt there from Daniel. And our new national 75 kilogram men's open weight class champion, Francesco Liberti. Coming from Stoic Systems, from Sydney. He's got a huge fan base as well. I'm not surprised. I'm a Francesco fan today.
I'm a Francesco fan.
A fan for Fran. nearly fumbled that one
The
as well.
Frans.
Team Fran.
All right, he's got this gold medal locked in. This will just be extending it.
And extending his best ever deadlift as well. Started with 250 coming to this comp. 267.5. Last deadlift for today's
Massive
session.
PB.
Let's go, Francesco. Round it off.
Wow.
Amazing.
Oh,
Amazing work from Francesco.
oh. Epic.
Champion. Our
Love
national
to see it.
Oh,
Oh, just love to see it. That's
Wow.
so sick.
What a great way. What a great way to finish
Yeah.
session 2 of the 2024 USAPL Australia Open and Masters National.
Great
Billy.
session. Lena Tran, Open 56 kilo champion.
Yep. And
Francesco Liberti, Open
75.
75 kilo champion.
Wow. Just, and there's more lifting. There's still 4 more sessions. This is crazy.
Yeah, big weekend.
Huge weekend.
All right, we have a bit of a break now, guys. The next session will start at 4:30 p.m. For those fans of the sport, we're ahead of schedule, which is almost unheard of. Next session will start at 4:30, also here on the USAPL Australia YouTube channel. Have a break, get yourself a snack,
Get a coffee,
get
go
comfy,
for a walk.
come back, get a blankie.
Yeah.
Nice Saturday arvo in, I reckon. Francis, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, no, the pleasure is all mine. It's been so great to be able to hang out, commentate with you on a Saturday afternoon, Millie. You know, it's like old times. Bar the commentating, you know, probably on the sidelines commentating, but no, it's been absolutely fantastic. Great day of lifting so far. Only more to come. So, yeah, thank you very much, Billy, for spending your wonderful afternoon talking, commentating with me.
Such a pleasure,
Nationals.
Francis. Such a pleasure. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll be back at 4:30.
Thank you, everyone. See you later.
Mikey, thank you.